The dopamine master.
Hello!
The dopamine
Welcome back
master.
to another Saturday night here collected with our friends. So, we are still unsponsored. We remain unsponsored. Just a shame. But since I'm not doing the recap, I don't remember who is. Jevin?
Me.
Great.
I
Okay, we're gonna go into it. So, unless
you
anyone
ready?
has anything they want to say before we start.
I mean, this is just the reminder that we could be not sponsored, and because at least two players here have their birthdays this upcoming week, it is the perfect time for Canada Dry to reach out and help make our adventures that much more bold. So you know what I mean.
It's true.
Not to mention, Matthew and I got married yesterday, so
Hey.
even more to celebrate.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Give us that sponsorship. Or
That's what I'm
else-
hearing. I heard the first
Parlay.
year of marriage is Canada Dry, is how that works.
Okay, well, without further ado, because I'm not French, let's go ahead and, Jevin, jump into the recap.
Okay, I have to stare at my phone while I'm
You're
doing
good.
this. I'm
Go for
sorry. Good evening, everyone. My name is Varus Halimian. I have no idea what's going on, but I've been informed that there are people on an internet who are interested in the tale of me and my dear friends. Apparently, I have to recap what's been going on in our lives before we can get to whatever is about to happen to us. With that in mind, I prepared a song and dance to convey our recent endeavors. But I lost the script, so I'm unable to perform it for you all tonight. My apologies. Instead, I will simply improvise, and when you recall this in the future, you can remember a glorious song and dance befitting of the great Varus Halimian, me. On to the performance. The last several weeks of our lives have been spent incognito in the city of Haversteep, building relationships and learning about the terrors of this city perpetually plagued by rain. I myself have been at the printing press exercising my artistic talents on posters, while also getting in close with the proprietor, Tillip, who shares our vision of dethroning the tyrant. Zarius has spent his time working at a bar known as the Tipsy Salmon, where he has met a whole cast of colorful characters, including Harriet's current boss and fellow Apollodux follower, George Forgeman. Inira secretly invades the gardens of Tadriel every night, catching his Styxian musings and meeting the strange old grave digger Ezekiel, who is slowly connecting the dots which bind Haversteep's colorful newcomers. That's us. And finally, Kanan has taken the most difficult job of all as a guard enforcing the tyrant's will, culminating in her role as one of the several people leading the recently weeded to their execution. Connecting all of us are two figures. Our old friend Zelene, who has recently returned and will be meeting us outside the city, and a mysterious professor of necromancy by the name of Nensis, whose current standing paints him as sympathetic to our cause. Who will be the first to stab us in the back? How many shovels does Ezekiel break every week? Will I go on a hot date with Tillip? And why is the salmon tipsy in the first place? All these on and more in tonight's tale of Varus's Vagabonds.
Excellent. Wonderful. Appreciate the effort. I didn't realize that I didn't fix the cameras for something later, so I'm doing that at the moment. But yes, so that's a very good recap of things that have happened in the past. Building up, just to set the mood a little bit. You all most recently witnessed the weeding. You saw the... hold on, we gotta get this music change here first, before things can really go on. So, you all recently saw the, by all accounts, kind of potentially dickish man, but otherwise innocent, brought out, dragged out of the blacksmith shop Forge Georgeman by Kanan and other guards, escorted as well by some of the scribes that were there, and Tadriel himself, and led through the city in that winding street that winds from, or that wraps around each district in the city, until eventually ending at the center stage wherein the weeding takes place. He was lashed up to the post in the center by Kanan and Utz, the guard captain, or guard sergeant, I should say. Left there in front of everyone while pleading for his life, expressing his loyalty and his desire to see Haversteep succeed, and it was not enough to save him. After a few painful moments listening to him whimper on stage, Tadriel finally, almost mercifully, approached and pressed the dagger through the man's chest, into his, all the way through into the post behind him. Painful experience indeed. Afterwards, thanks to their prior agreement, Oots fired Kanan very publicly and asked her to turn in her equipment that she had been issued. It is here where we pick up, as soon as Jevon's camera stops sticking to the walls and stuff. Sorry, just when you edit in this, it likes to, try to help you by magneting, and it's like, no, I got it. Don't worry about it.
No.
I can move it. Okay. All right, that is actually went a lot faster than I thought it would. Okay, so now if only I can find where my notes are. All right, so as the ceremony completes and the crowd begins to disperse, Kanan, you've already had this interaction with Oots where he fired you from guard service, and all of you are still hanging around the stage area. The body of David still hanging lifelessly from the post in the center of the stage. His blood has begun to pool around his feet and has thoroughly soaked the front of his clothing, the deep crimson reminding you of the banners and ribbons at Renovash. A heavy moment passes as the reality of the situation sets in. Your minds are cast back to the wall of Franken beans in Warstop, the wall covered in carvings, trinkets, artifacts, and memories of the hundreds of names inscribed there, each selected and taken in this same way. And you can't help but think of yet another name being added to the list. At this time, the rain has ceased, and in spite of the circumstances, the sun has begun to peek through the clouds for the first time since you're entering into this territory. As the clouds break, a stunning array of multicolored light fills the sky above, the golden rays of sunlight beaming down warmly on the city and the surrounding grasslands. The clouds continue to clear, and for the first time in weeks, you see a breathtaking sunset to the east, and a vacant sky, to the west, and a vacant sky full of purples, reds, and golds. For a moment, you forget about the tragedy that took place mere feet from you as you're caught up in the beauty of the sky. The moment passes as the sun sets firmly behind the mountains of Haversteep Bay, and you're hurled back into the situation in front of you. About 30 people still remain in small clusters around the stage, and at this point, not including you all, so 30 in addition to 6 of you. And you get the sense that even they are getting ready to return to their homes or businesses. What would you all like to do?
If I remember correctly, we're all kind of scattered, right?
Correct.
We're not near each other?
Yeah.
Okay. Then Harriet will start trying to look for somebody.
Yeah, it's easy to see everybody. I mean, like I said, there's only about 30 people left, so it's easy enough that you can identify each other within that small group.
Yeah, and Kanan's headed back to the barracks to grab the rest of her stuff.
Okay.
And drop off armor, so she may not be available.
Okay. So
And
Kanan's
Ira-
heading out.
When people had left, and Ira had walked up and put a flower on stage
Correct.
near, not like stepping on, but like throwing it near him.
Yeah.
Probably still just kind of lingering there.
Okay. One thing that you all, I forgot to mention, you don't see Zelene in this space. So you did all have that interaction with her where she instructed you on where to meet, but right now you don't see her. So, what would you all like to do?
trying to remember logistics. So did we? Was it in our? Did we make decisions that we were going to go meet Celine right after this? Like we would have brought stuff with us, or?
Yeah, she said. She said meet the day after. So whether that's like you go there immediately after. She just said after the weeding. I'm sorry, that's what she said. Just after the weeding. Okay. So she didn't specify whether it was the day after, or whether it was that afternoon, or whether it was the evening, or what. So, as far as I remember, nobody brought their whole packs with them. They just prepped it at where they were staying.
Yeah, so in that case, Harriet's going to kind of try and find George Forgeman, not, she's just call him Forgeman. Yeah, sorry. Her boss, and kind of follow him back to George Forgeman.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that's easy enough. Sorry, I didn't arrange any of these right for the stream. Okay, so sorry about that. Yeah, so that's easy enough to do. You find George fairly quickly. I mean, he wasn't that far away from you.
Yeah.
You both end up heading back to Forge Georgeman.
Yeah, and if she sees any of you, she'd give you a nod, but that would be all.
Okay. All right.
Lars will probably head back to the press, but he does want to take in this scene a little bit of the body on the stand and kind of the sunset behind it. So with the intent of painting it later into something.
Okay.
And once he feels like he's got it in his brain, then he'll head back and grab his stuff.
All right. Take a few moments and really just soak it in, and appreciate the severity of everything, and then gather your things and head out to gather yourself, I should say, and then head out to grab your stuff. Are you heading out tonight, or are you going to wait until the morning?
I think he's just going to go grab his stuff and then head out and just wait by... I think he said it was like a tree that we're waiting by.
Yeah, it's a small cluster of trees. It's just before the Way of Suffering starts, but it's far enough away from the actual city gates that they're not going to see you just hanging out. It's not like 6 feet away or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he'll head out tonight after getting his stuff.
Okay.
Xeris is just going to go back to the tavern, probably write up a quick note for Den.
Okay.
I can't handle this with the weeding and something like that, and then just kind of tell him he's leaving, and then leave that, grab his stuff, and also head out to the tree tonight.
Okay. Good to know.
If possible, Inira is going to actually work in the garden again to see if she can hear anything different.
Okay.
After the weeding,
Yeah.
because she interpreted it as the next day.
Sure. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
She'll head back and work in the garden at nightfall.
Okay. So
that leaves Ezekiel.
That's right.
I guess, who will take a look around the crowd, potentially spot some of these mysterious strangers, and then return to his abode, whatever his housing situation is there.
Okay.
Sift through a trunk that has not been opened in several years, full of old adventuring gear, and gather up a couple of weapons and leather armor.
Okay.
As he waits to potentially do something with that.
Okay. Take a night and kind of collect yourself. Yeah, dust those memories off and maybe twirl the blade around the apartment or house or whatever a few times. Okay, got it. And is that everybody? Okay, thought so. Just making sure. Yeah, so, Inira, what you do notice, as you go back to the garden, obviously waiting, I assume, until Tadriel is... It's firmly dark. You're not, just walking up, hey, man, what's up? How'd that go?
No. Nighttime, like I've been doing the entire time.
Yeah. How'd that feel for you? So, yeah.
Hey, Tadriel.
You're just on a mic. Big fan.
Can you sign my chest wound that you're about to make, please?
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Okay.
Oh, no.
You don't have a pen? Here, use my blood.
Okay.
I mean, he's
Lord
gonna kill me
Almighty.
anyway,
So what you do here, as you're as you're kind of, tending the garden, but really just trying to focus and listen on what's going on, you have this just insatiable desire to make a perception check.
Man, I really want to be perceptive right now.
It's a strange thing, it just happens from time to time.
Oh boy.
You listen, and this event has shaken you up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not. Yes, nature can be cruel, but it's not quite so malicious. And this, as you sit and listen, trying to gather any information you can, your mind just keeps drifting back to that blood running down the front of him. It's the seriousness of the situation that you're in, and you're really just unable to focus that whole time.
Great.
But as for the rest, your nights pass, fairly ordinarily, kind of surprisingly so, considering what you just saw. But you all have, except for Kanan, are you heading out? Sorry, I forgot to do that one. Sorry, I didn't see that all of these cameras still weren't adjusted. My bad, so I'm still doing that. But so Kanan, you head back. Are you just dropping the stuff off, or are you trying to talk to anybody before you go, or?
I just want to get out as soon as possible.
Okay.
So, drop the armor off in front of Zane if she's there, wherever her station is.
Okay.
Go into the barracks, get into my the normal clothes that Varus got us.
Yeah.
And then,
okay.
Grab my bag and everything, because I don't think I had it on me at the meeting.
Okay, sounds good. So you grab your stuff and get yourself ready, and you're heading out of the city now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna try to find a discreet place, either that or find someone who I might think has extra space. So probably try to find Zarius, see if maybe he knows a place where they have if I could sleep with him. And if
Okay.
he's not there, then just head out of town and find somewhere to sleep.
Okay, so you're heading to the Tipsy Salmon first, and then seeing if there's any rooms open or anything. Okay, just want to make sure I'm aware of what you're doing. All right, you gather your stuff up. Zane's door is shut. It's locked, so you can leave it right outside the door if you'd like to. But and then as you head into town, you get back. Oh, thanks, Corwin Simpson, for now following. Appreciate that. It's so exciting. I really do appreciate that. It's very nice of you. Okay, so you head into the Tipsy Salmon, and you take a look around, and it's very dead. It seems that everybody is kind of staying at home. As you walk through the town, you get that feeling like nobody's really out. There's no real sense of populace out there. It's just sort of everyone's taking time reflecting on the scenario. But you make your way to the Tipsy Salmon, and you do see Zarius in there along with Din. So you walk in and see those two.
So Kanan's gonna walk up to Zarius, be like, hi, Frederick. Sorry, I think I've been calling you the wrong name.
One of them. Yes,
All
what
right.
can I help you with?
Well, I was wondering if you had... Can I talk to you alone for a minute?
Of course. And Sarah's will kind of wander off.
Kanan will just say, Zarius, do you have a place to stay? What's your plan for tonight?
It's kind of planning on heading out tonight, but if you'd rather stay in the city, there's extra room wherever I've been staying.
Well, honestly, I'd go out of town with you. I'm ready to be out.
Yes, I don't particularly care for this place.
Right. Yeah, so I'll just, I think I'll take a real drink.
You sure?
Very little alcohol.
Okay.
But a real drink tonight, and she'll give you a piece of gold.
Okay.
All right. Zaris will go off and grab a couple of drinks.
Okay. What are you making? Anything in particular?
What was it that we said? A more-stop mule?
Yeah.
Or something?
Yeah.
I think that's what Haley affectionately called it.
Okay. Got it. More stop mule. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bring him back. Kanan, you take a sip, and or do you take a sip?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's really strong for you. For a normal person, it's like a 4% beer, but it's Kanan. It's got that kick to it, you know. But it's good.
Zaris drinks his, and he is also a lightweight, so...
Yeah, the two of them.
Aiden will sip on it very slowly.
Okay. So the two of you have, as long as you'd like to stay and just reminisce or talk, if you'd like to. But if you're gonna head out, then we can do that too. Don't want to rush anything here.
Yeah, I think Zaris will probably be ready to head out kind of just after sunset or something like that. So it's not like broad daylight, like, go.
Okay.
As soon as possible.
Okay. You spend maybe 10 minutes sipping your drinks and just kind of silently hanging out together. The presence of each other being a little bit of a comfort. And eventually you gather your things. Kanan, you already had yours ready. But Zarius, you grab your bag, and Din approaches you.
Oh, no.
He says, "Look, I understand why you have to go. This is... Just say this. If I could make the same decision as you are, I would. Good luck."
Yes. Good luck to you as well. Maybe someday this will be a happier place.
Oh, your pay. And he
Oh,
reaches under, grabs a sack, and sets it on the counter.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks. Zaris will grab his pay.
Okay. You check it. It's like 200 silver.
Oh, okay.
A couple of weeks.
More than I thought it was going to be. That was going to be like 2 gold.
Apparently people like you. It's a fair share of tips.
Weird. Okay.
All right. So, you two gather your things. Are you heading out just walking through the streets together, or are you trying to be a little stealthy, or what are you trying to do?
I think Zaris is fine with just walking out unless Kanan had something else you wanted to do.
Having participated in the guards, I think it's best if we lay low, especially if we're out this late.
All right. Should we split up and meet there in a couple hours?
Yeah. I think we can sneak out of town together, meet at the tree, and then sleep somewhere not at the tree, just in case we're noticed.
All right. Yeah.
So I'll see you outside of town.
Yep.
Okay.
So are we making stealth checks? Or...
Yeah, if you're going to head stealthily, go ahead and make stealth checks.
Yeah.
It's right on par.
Yeah. I don't know why. He has a good dex, but every
It's
single
just-
time it's like an important dex roll. He falls off mountains, off buildings.
I feel like it's the sword. Like he's
Yeah.
like the sword is tripping you and like messing
Falls
with you, clanks
into-
against stuff, shrieking for gold.
Into logs that want
Give
to
me
eat
my
him.
silver!
Feed me.
All right. So, Kanan, you do pretty well. You know the city fairly well, and you know the guard routes, so you know where to avoid. You manage to make your way through. A few regular people notice you as you're going, but they really don't seem to be paying close attention. They seem like they're kind of in a hurry to get back to their house. Zarius, you are very cheery in trying to get out. You got a nice pep in your step, and it's completely at odds with the people around you. But again, they don't really seem to notice. The only thing is you see a few guards see you and then kind of whisper to each other. Fortunately, you can read lips, and you hear, "Isn't that the guy who works at the Tipsy Salmon?" But that's all. Just see you walk in. That's it. You both end up making it out of the city. And you can very easily find... The cluster of trees is just like 40 feet off of the road. So maybe like 8 or 9 trees there. As you approach, Zelene is there. She sees you two as you approach separately. And Kanan, since you made a little bit of stealth check, we'll say you made it there first. Sees you approach and says, "Hello. It's nice to see you. Is everyone else coming tonight, or...?"
I can't speak for Anira, Varus, and Harriet, but I know that Zarius will be here tonight.
Very well. Well, feel free to sleep anywhere. The place is all yours, if you can call it that. And you see she's got like a bedroll out, and that's pretty much it.
All right. Didn't attract anything suspicious. Are we good just sleeping here until everyone else gets here?
Yes, I've greased a few palms to ensure that the guards won't come out this far for another week or so.
All right. Oots?
Maybe.
I worked with him. You can tell me if it's Oots.
Maybe. You'll have to wait and see, won't
Okay.
you?
All right.
And about this time, Zarius, you approach, just walking cheery, grabbing onto your straps on your pack.
Man, am I glad to be out of there.
So Celine says, "Zarius, we're over here. If you could not be so obvious in the future, great."
Yeah, it's my bad. Just got a little excited.
Well, it's great to see you. I'm excited
Here
to hear
you're
about
coming
your...
from a mile off there.
In the rain.
I'm glad to hear... I'm hoping to hear of your exploits over the past several weeks. But we can wait till everyone else is here, so you don't have to repeat yourself.
Same thing, yeah.
But I need to sleep,
guess so.
so... Good night.
Sleep would be good after what we've seen today.
All right.
And then Kanan will head to sleep, and then after a while, she's gonna crawl over to Zarius.
Okay.
Zarius is gonna stay up until someone else gets there. He's just keeping watch. And then for 4 hours or so, and if no one shows up, we'll go to sleep. But
Okay. And nobody shows?
Whatever the normal rest watch is.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah, nobody shows up.
I don't know what time it is, but I put it in chat that Anira would probably leave earlier than the typical whatever the normal long rest wake up time is after a
Okay.
few hours of failed attention span.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you spent the time to do that, so we'll say that you can get an early start, but you're still gonna have to spend the whole time for a long rest. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say about an hour before dawn would be reasonable
Okay.
for you to hop out and
Cool.
get going. As for the rest of you, do you want to do anything before you go?
Harriet definitely wants to. She's not just going to disappear without saying goodbye to George, at least. So,
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
So
George.
the morning comes around, and you hear George kind of
There was
browsing,
some-
doing his what? Go ahead. Okay. You hear George browsing and doing his regular morning stuff. He's kind of straightening his room up and getting his breakfast ready and those kinds of things. You hear him go down the stairs, and you can do whatever you'd like.
And just for context from existing around Zarius, is there a saying that Apollodux people say to one another? Apollodux be with you? I don't know. If you don't have one, but if there is, I'll just say she says it. But
And not that you've heard.
okay.
Yeah.
In that case, yeah, she'll kind of have her bags together and but leaving them in the room. Come downstairs. Yeah, downstairs to where Forgeman is. Just kind of give him a wave.
So I guess it's that time, huh?
Think it's that time. Yes. You know, it's not that I want to stay here. And she'll gesture like grandly, but I will miss here, if you know what I mean. That's all.
It's bittersweet, isn't it? Well, look, I know. Never mind. I appreciate your spending time here. You're showing me that there are other good people here. And I hate to ask because you've helped a lot, but I'm wondering, our mutual friend, the one who can leave things in the drawer for, I'm not very good
Yes.
at being subtle.
That's all right.
I'm wondering if there's a way. He offered me a way to provide more supplies for the city, but he needs help from the coast, from Seaton. On the off chance, do you know anyone who might be able to help us?
I know a couple people on the sea, yes.
Really? I was just shooting in the dark here.
That's what I do, and that's what she does too. Yeah. Shoot in the dark. I mean, never mind. Do you know people? If I said names, would you recognize anybody?
Probably not. But if you can, pass the message for them to meet with Lucas Coldshore under my name.
So you said Lucas Coldshore?
Yes. They will know that we have made a deal and I'm covering the expense.
All right. I'll see what I can do for you. 'Cause you've done a lot for me, and you still have a lot to do for this city, I think.
Thank you.
And we're in this battle together, George.
Means a lot to hear that. I can't do it by myself.
You're not alone, even with me leaving, you know. She's with you, you know,
Yes.
inside of you, right?
I don't know
And
about
I-
inside of, but yes.
Well, it's a metaphor, George. I just mean I've seen how she guides my friends and in his life and in his goals, and it's very very bright flame, you know.
Yes.
I can see why she likes you and why you like her. So don't lose that flame, George. She'll kind of pat him on the shoulder and go and get her stuff
Okay.
and start heading out.
All right. You gather your stuff and you exit out of the out of Forge Georgeman blacksmith shop. Varus, is there anything that you would
Yeah.
like to do?
He's also going to try and wake up early, probably like an hour before everybody else at the printing press normally would.
Okay.
And if he can swipe like a little sticky note sized piece of paper, he'll rip it off of something if he has to.
Yeah.
And just sign it in blue, a little VH stylized,
Okay.
with a winky face on it. And leave that on Tillip's desk with one of the ginger puffs on top of it,
Okay.
and then just leave.
All right. Sounds great. Yeah, all that stuff's easy enough to do. You know your way around. You got keys to get in, all that stuff. So it's not like it's a big deal. All right. So you take care of that, and then Ezekiel. Well, before we do Ezekiel, everybody else, are you heading out stealthily, or are you just walking out?
I think Varus is just going.
Okay. And Ara, are you heading out
was-
sneaky?
Probably not like sneaky, but just
Okay.
seeing if she's being followed at all. Or
Okay.
any, like stuff like that.
All right. And Kanan, go ahead.
It's all good. I'm good.
You sure? Okay. And Harriet, are you heading out, just walking out?
Yeah, she's not trying to, skip along like maybe
Okay.
a Nat 1 Zarius moment, but she's like, she's not intentionally trying to not look like who she is now that she's
Sure.
worked in the town, and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. All right. So since nobody's like actively sneaking, we're not going to do stealth checks. Ezekiel, what are you doing? Are you following them? Or are you because they don't know that you heard?
Yeah, well, what I think is, firstly, I'm not sure he even slept very much at all. He
Okay.
is a bit of an insomniac and used to being up at night. Let's just say, for the DM's points, he had a lot of conflicting voices about what
Okay.
to do
All right.
that evening. I know I'm throwing lots of things. Thank you,
You're
Devin. But eventually he's like, "Am I really doing this? It's none of my business." But eventually he kind of builds up enough resolve, gives his weapons a couple more twirls, and heads out stealthily very early in the morning.
Okay.
towards this meeting.
Are you heading to the meeting place, or are you heading to a place where you can watch the meeting place?
Watch the meeting place for
Okay.
now, yes.
All right. So go ahead and make a stealth check. 19, pretty good.
Easy, just get a plus 12 to stealth, everybody.
And Ira, since you said you were looking, go ahead and make a perception check. 21, okay. You are leaving at different times, so it's a potential that you didn't see each other, but I'll say for the sake of this, and Ira, you do notice Ezekiel around town. Just you see him in passing once, and it's like, what is this dude doing? It's kind of the feeling you get. It doesn't seem like he's following. It just seems like he's just out. He's kind of a reclusive guy, so you don't really know his behaviors necessarily personally. But you do see him at one point as he's going around. But, it could be totally normal, or it could be something weird. You just don't know at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
The rest of you don't notice because you weren't looking. But easily enough, you all exit, and Ezekiel, you're sort of tailing, sort of leading, kind of going alongside, parallel to this group. But separately, as you begin to make your way to the front gates of the city, this is to all of you separately. But I didn't write 10 different paragraphs for this. Okay, so as you all walk, those of you previously unaware of our poster work have begun to take note of the subtle messages of hope tucked away in the artwork, the text, the wording, and even begin to feel yourself somewhat refreshed from the oppressive air of Haversteep proper. The streets are mostly bare, and as you all travel, you notice that it seems like most people have returned home to spend time with their families and friends. Even this early in the morning, as you pass by the odd store, house, or the window, you see groups quietly gathered together around the fireplace or dinner table, sharing a meal or a story with those that they love. In spite of all of this, you can't shake the presence of fear within them and hanging about the city. Soon, you all find yourselves passing through the guard posts at the entrance. Forrest, you notice that your poster, the prominent one that you put up, has been taken down, but is just lying on the ground near where it was posted, not torn up or burnt or anything. They just ripped it off the wall. The guards seem relaxed and even jovial, horsing around and playing games with one another. Finally, you find yourself separately outside the walls of Haversteep proper and walking along the well-maintained road leading out of the city. After traveling for a little while, the cluster of trees approaches, and depending on the order that you all would like to get there, if you all are meeting up right outside, that's fine, however you want to do this, but you see Kanan and Zarius waiting in the trees along with Zelene. Ezekiel, you managed to find a really nice spot to make a perception check at. See if you can find a spot to hide in. 8. You get out there and you look, and there's a rock that's about knee high, and that's it. So you can try to hide behind it, but you just don't see another spot that would be good. And you're kind of standing in this open, grassy area. So you can hide if you'd like to, but you could also just pretend to keep walking. Whatever you'd like.
Are there any graveyards nearby?
You are out beyond that.
Okay, we're beyond that. Ooh. I think he's just gonna have to try to hide anyway.
Okay. All right. So yeah, make a stealth check with disadvantage. 15. Okay. So 15. We'll keep that in mind. The rest of you, as you approach, you have the familiar greeting from seeing each other. It's nice to be reunited with your friends once more, and just experience that pleasant reunion of being around one another. The sun is shining bright in the sky overhead. The insects and birds are chirping and flying around. It's, by all accounts, going to be a beautiful day. Celine is very excited to see you. She looks a little more tired than you think she should be, maybe, but everything is going well. Zarius, you for sure. And what is everybody else's passive perception? If anyone has more than a 15 passive perception, that's the thing.
18.
Varus
16.
and Ira. Zarius for sure,
I have an
Kanan.
18.
Okay, so everybody but Harriet.
Oh,
Sorry.
Fine, okay. In my other game, the highest is like 12, so...
Okay.
My to-go cup of tea is really interesting.
Yep. Yeah.
No, I'm just, it's canon that she's too busy, like, licking her eye
I didn't
to,
realize
like,
how high
perceive
Zeus was.
passively.
Okay.
Y'all are just lucky I rolled a 3.
So, you all do notice Ezekiel. He's out of earshot at this point, but you can see him, and he's like actively trying to hide behind this little rock. So,
What in hell, Inara? Isn't that the guy you work with?
What?
Are you blaming me
What are
for
y'all
this?
talking about?
I mean, why is he out here?
I know.
Harry, look behind that little rock.
Oh. I thought he was hiding pretty good.
I know just as much as you do. He's been getting a little bit too chummy. He's been asking questions and...
Do you know
hide
him?
behind random rocks?
Well, he's
Have
the
you talked to him?
He's the gravekeeper at Tadriel's castle, right?
yeah.
Yeah, he's the gravekeeper of Tadriel's castle. We work next to each other, sure, but
Should we
most of
just
our interactions have been him questioning me and me holding firm.
should we go say hello?
Either hello or kill him, because he's seen all of us together and knows that we are conspiring. So,
Well,
Well, I can just go
It was-
smack him up real quick.
maybe
Maybe
we try.
Just give a
hey,
nod and run.
Maybe we try hello. Oh,
there she goes.
okay. Well,
While
let's see how
Kanan
this
is running,
goes.
can someone fill me in? Who is this person?
Who? Oh,
No.
I think he came in and fixed a shovel once.
This
Or like
so
7 times.
while
Might have
Kanan's running.
seen-
It's Ezekiel, the gravekeeper at Tadriel's castle. We work next to each other. He's been connecting the dots. I've been trying to lead him off the trail, but alas.
Is he on the trail?
Kanan rolled a natural 20.
so Kanan is very fast.
Wait.
And is
He's an old man.
very, very, very fast. And just dead sprint over there, lightning quick. And Zelene's just sitting down like, yeah, all right. And just gets a solid whack the
Okay.
first time on Ezekiel. Sorry, it's a nat 20.
I am going to uncanny dodge, though.
Okay,
Duality.
take half, all right. So you take, what is that, 6
Take half of
instead?
that.
Yeah. And the second one is a nat 1. So you get the solid whack, and this guy reacts a lot faster than you'd expect, Kanan. Manages to dodge the second swing. Are you two
Whoa.
engaging in combat, or are you,
Are we fighting? Okay.
15.5 to 6.
Kanan!
Kanan's
Kanan!
gonna spend a key point and just punch him and try. If she hits, she's gonna try to stunning strike him.
But you hit once already.
Well, I don't think the quarters.
15.
How far away are they?
15 hits.
they're
Okay,
yeah, they're a good.
make a con save of 16.
Oh boy.
Ezekiel, you are stunned.
Yeah, Ezekiel was not fighting back, but he is now stunned on the ground, I guess.
Um,
Can
He
I-
knows you're not.
Can I start
fighting
making
back.
my way over there?
Sure.
Kanan's just gonna say, all right, so you're over here, you've seen us, you worked with Veryl, I guess is how you'd know her. I need to know why you're here and how much you know, and I'm gonna kill you.
He's still stunned. Just.
And
pretty much.
Heretic's gonna shout, she's not kidding. You might want to respond.
And she's gonna spend this time talking to try to grapple him and
Okay.
tie him with her rope if she can. I know it's only like 6 seconds.
It's an
so-
automatic success because he's stunned. So you have him tied, so he's restrained. Now the stun is worn off, and the rest of you, I would say, approach about this time.
Yeah, we're like
Oh,
trotting
goodness.
over.
I don't know if I should be concerned for this fellow and why he's here, or if I should be concerned for what Kanan just did to him. Good
I
God.
think we should be more concerned for him. If that's just a normal old gravekeeper,
I mean, how many normal old gravekeepers follow groups out here when we're having secret meetings?
we're being a bit suspicious. We look weird.
Okay.
Ezekiel, what are you doing?
Oh, you guys have been talking the whole time. I don't know anything. I just overheard. You aren't exactly the most subtle group.
Zelene shouts from the trees, "Whatever you're gonna do, maybe hide in the trees."
Oh,
yeah.
right. And Kane's just gonna grab the rope and start dragging you.
Oh no!
You could
I
ask
will.
him. It might
I
be
will
easier.
try to help pick him up so he's not being dragged on the ground.
Well, he doesn't weigh very much, so
You help him to his feet.
Oh,
I have a,
Kanan can
I have a
pick you
strength
up.
of 9.
that's probably not enough then, yeah.
Kanan can pick you up just fine.
10 actually. 10. Well, you said you were gonna drag him, so.
Say you
yeah.
lift him up to his feet and you lead him by the rope. We'll say that just so that. All right, so you manage to bring him back to the forest, and Zelena's still just sitting on the ground. Not the forest, but the little cluster of trees that's there. And Zelene says, "So you? Oh wait. Oh, I'm sorry.
Please don't kill me.
I saw him, but I didn't think he could hear me when I told Anira where to meet, so my bad."
I'm just an old fool.
Well, here's
You're
what
in
you're
good
going
company
to do.
then.
I'm going to cast a spell. You're going to let it affect you, or we'll kill you. Sounds good? Okay,
I don't think I'm in a position to argue.
very good. Xeris is going to cast Zone of Truth.
Okay. So you can choose to make the
Um,
wisdom save if you'd like to, or you can auto fail. It's up to you.
He's
oh,
just
charisma
gonna
save.
auto.
Charisma.
Oh, is it a charisma save? He's just gonna auto fail.
Okay. All right. So you feel this sort of weight lift off of you, and you feel strangely compelled to tell the truth to whatever questions he's asking.
All right, gang, what do we want to know?
You're asking me what we want to know? I'm just here to
The group
punch
as a
people.
whole.
How do you
Okay.
feel about Tadriel?
Okay. Starting with
It's a,
that.
it's
Stop-
a
no,
question.
no,
we have
you-
not a lot of time. You
you're
guys
right.
are all
We have-
sitting here.
You're right, you're right.
How long? 10 minutes. Okay, that's what.
10 minutes.
How long can I stall?
It's only halfway through a coffee. 13.
She switched to coffee for this.
Probably spiked.
Right, let the man speak.
Well, he's a vicious dictator, but really it's not my place to make judgments on him. I don't like the fellow, though. Things got much worse after he arrived.
Sorry.
Would you take a stand against him?
I don't know.
Well, if your life was on the line and I was gonna kill it right now,
Suppose I would have to then.
How much do you? How much do you
No,
go ahead?
you go ahead.
You go, Varus. It's your question's much more important than mine.
Why did you follow us here?
Well, you see, I noticed some strange happenings in the town. Met some of your group. I'm not quite sure myself why I'm here. I just felt that maybe even an old fool like me can do something once in a while. Plus, they told me they seemed to think that it was a good idea too.
They being.
Hey?
The voices that I hear sometimes.
Okay.
Ian's just gonna look at Anira and be like,
Not, but,
She'll return a look like, I don't know.
you know,
We all hear voices here. This is a voice-hearing community, right? Right?
yeah.
Voice hearing
I mean-
community.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have zone of truth, so I'm going to say yes.
No, he's under zone of truth.
No, I don't. I'm not under it.
Anyways, are you planning to turn us in?
No, I don't care for that.
See? He doesn't need to die. There we go.
How much do you know about us?
Well, I've only seen you around for 3 weeks. I've caught hearsay here and there, but really nothing. I know that, well, you call yourself Veryl. That one's Lana, but I think someone said Kanan once.
yeah, you can call me Kanan.
I believe that Veryl's a druid, but I don't have any proof of that. And then there's Karina, who works at the blacksmith. That's really all I know.
Now, sure, you noticed something suspicious and you heard we were meeting up out here. Why did you come? Knowing people are meeting somewhere and following them to that meeting place are two different things.
Especially if you don't know
Might
anything about
be
them.
curiosity, maybe a macabre desire to do something. It's probably pointless, though. I used to do this sort of thing a lot. Follow people, trail them, that sort of thing.
Well,
Seems I'm
perfect.
losing my touch.
It's not pointless now, because Kanan will pull out her dagger. She'll be like, well, and she'll start, like, going towards it. She'll be like, it's not pointless now, because now you're fighting for your life, and she'll start
Please
cutting the
don't
rope.
stab me with that.
Whoa, okay.
Oh Lord.
She's cutting the rope.
I know, but he does.
That was such an ominous way to describe it, though.
To be fair, Zarius' first thought was also that you're about to stab him. So.
Fair enough, yeah.
So, you said that you used to do this kind of thing, but Kanan, just walloped you over the head pretty quickly. Do you have any skill? Or are you going to die as soon as we encounter anything?
We'll use
I
you either way,
have
but you
some.
gotta know.
I have some skill in combat, but I'm particularly skilled in espionage. Probably not anymore, though. That was a long time ago. Probably pretty worthless now.
Well, excellent. Either he'll die and become a corpse for the necromancers to raise, or he'll die and let us get away. One of the two, probably, right? It's pretty good.
That sounds about right.
Maybe he'll be good. We don't know.
You know,
Either way,
usually in this situation, you should sell yourself as useful.
Unfortunately, I am compelled to tell the truth.
That's so good.
That is so out of character.
That was like instant too.
Okay. Well, I guess I can say he's not lying.
I can confirm that.
So,
You know-
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, this is probably one of the most thorough investigations we've ever given anybody we decided to work with. We might as well give him a shot. Oh my god, someone just disappeared.
Naira!
And Ira poofs out of
Can't
existence.
believe Tadriel just banished an Ira.
All the cameras are staying messed up, so deal with it.
Roulette. Vagabond roulette.
Until Anira comes back.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, Ezekiel, you are being pressed into service. I hope that's all right. Because if not, you know, everyone here will try to kill you at some point or another.
And Caden is the scariest of us, but we're all pretty scary.
I'm not all that scary.
You just dashed like 60 yards across the field and bashed someone inside the head with the head with a stick, and then tied them up in
You
like
hit
6
me
seconds.
before I even saw you coming.
It's not wrong.
That's hard
All
to
right.
do.
Like personality-wise, no, but
You're a lot faster without the armor on.
Well, Ezekiel, do you drink tea?
Not in a long time.
Would you like some now? You know, I drink a lot of tea. I don't know. I'm just trying
Wasn't
to.
I just being interrogated a few moments ago?
Well, I think you passed, Ezekiel. So
And if
As
not,
I
we've
must
got
tell
another
the truth, yes, I'd like a cup of tea.
great.
got another couple of minutes here, so you know we'll know if you're lying. So
She'll hand you her half-drunk cup of tea.
I quote a book I read once: "We can always kill you in the morning."
Why are we talking about killing this man? What has he done to us? I'm so confused.
Well, I mean, as of the moment, we've known him, what, 5 minutes?
Exactly. Why are we killing him?
Because it's
we're on a
our
secret
lives are
mission,
his in this
and-
circumstance.
Being sold out here could be very bad.
I might still betray you. It's not good to have loose ends around. I know that.
You
But
might
I
still
won't.
betray us?
No, I won't, but it's a possibility. That's what
So-
happens in this business.
What are things we could do to make you less likely to betray us? Top 3.
Well, threatening to kill me is a good start.
Okay.
Well, I can stop doing that.
No, that means that I certainly won't try and act up. 'Cause I'd still value my life somewhat.
All right. We all have our motivations.
And our boundaries. No threatening to kill Ezekiel here.
Oh yes. That
Well,
was the only
Ezekiel-
reason he gave.
I do have something to say that I do have some concerns of. If you haven't heard about Zelina, I'm not sure if you know what she looks like. She's a little bit. She looks kind of mousy. She's fairly beautiful. She's a taller human woman. She wears just very like plain Jane clothing. But she looks just kind of mousy. Her face is kind of pinched at the front.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Now
And-
I know what you're referencing.
Okay. Yeah. She
Ezekiel
says,
doesn't, though.
okay. She says, so, as I'm sure you're aware, there are other people who are not a fan of Tadriel, or the Scries, or the way things are organized here in this territory.
Many in the city, yes.
Well, I happen to be, how do you say, managing a network of these people. So if you're going to work with us, I need to know that you are not going to out any of them at any time, but on purpose or accidentally.
I don't plan on it, no.
Very good. I may need you to demonstrate some of that loyalty, that commitment to your word.
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, then, I think it's fair for all of us to share what we've accomplished in the last 3 weeks. Ezekiel, you will hear all of this and be even more motivation to, you know, pay attention and not die. So,
Celine,
yes.
not knowing what you have planned for us today, how likely is it you think we'll see combat? Because I have one other thing we could do, but it takes up a fair amount of my energy.
We have some travel to do, so you're probably safe.
But I have a spell that could inflict a more strict penalty on our friend here if he's to slip up without our knowledge.
That's up to you. I think that we can handle it if something were to happen.
Just
if you'd
one
like to-
person. There's a lot more of you.
If you'd like to flex a little bit, that's okay too.
I just read a spell that I had that was really cool, but I don't need to do that now. That could be later. Look at this, though. This is cool.
Keys, yeah. Okay.
No, he won't. He'll be like, okay.
All right. Well, so who wants to go first?
I can. Since, everyone's jumping at the bit, I might as well
course.
start. I was at the printing press. Like I said, I made some posters, most of which are subliminally anti-system. I don't know what the right word for that would be, but, stick it to the man
Regime.
type deal, And I don't know, I thought that they were pretty great. I don't know if you guys saw any of them, but I like them. I also, more important though, was I met a lady named Tilla, who is very sympathetic to our cause, and wanted me to put up some posters that are also anti-system. That's the word I'm going with. So, we have another ally, if you didn't already know of her. Tilla, I have her last name written here somewhere. Tillip Skiprock.
You can see as you're talking, Zelene is just like memorizing these names of people. Focusing very much on that. Go ahead.
If I remember, you said she had friends, right?
Yes.
When you stopped at the tavern.
Yes. Yeah. I think so. Well, I really only met 2 of them and they were going to kill me, but then Tillip told them not to, so. She has allies. And we have an ally in her.
Good. This is very good.
That's all.
Nice work. I appreciate that,
Thank you.
Varus. Propaganda is a powerful tool for us and them. Disabling their ability to use it is a huge benefit for us. Sirius, why don't you go next?
I mostly hold up at the Tipsy Salmon for the majority of the 3 weeks, and kind of listened in on meetings between Varus and a couple of his colleagues, as well as Kanan here, met up with another possible ally, a mentor of the one who brought us here, actually.
Mensis.
Ninsis, yes. He, and Kanan, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, or if you know anything else, but he seemed to not want to take a violent stance on this, but did want to help us. He told us to meet up at somewhere that's storing messages in a set period of time that he told Kanan, and I don't remember.
Oh,
Was it 3 weeks?
place under. Here's what I have in my notes. Oh, well, he gave us a key and told us to go to the necropolis where all of the messages are held. He showed me the door and everything. Oh no, he didn't show me. I looked around for it. He wants us to destroy all of the messages 3 weeks after that date, so it's in like 2 weeks now.
Like letters, messages?
Magical.
They have some kind of system that records, like, messaging that I can, some people have the capability to do that go in and out of the borders.
Really?
Yes.
Apparently, we believe that's how the person who brought us here was caught.
I see. I had no idea. I will pass the word along to our different cells. This is...
Apparently, it's okay within the city, but anything going in and out gets caught.
I understand. This changes things. Thank you. This is crucial information. Well, this is good to know. Harriet, why don't you go next?
Yes. Sorry, I thought Kanan was going.
Oh,
I
sorry.
was at no, it's fine. I was at George Forgeman's. It's a blacksmith there. I think I saw Ezekiel a couple times, fixing a shovel and all that. So, we did odds and ends like that, but George, serves the same deity as Zarius here. So we were able to connect over that, and he has some convictions about that. We were working on making armor that was flawed to give to the guard. So that when
Really?
yes, to make them more vulnerable. He also, we came up with a keyword for when battle is happening, that he'll outfit people who need it, weapons, things like that. He asked in return, he seems to be pretty deep in some questions and negotiations, and he said that there's a deal he needed to reach Seaton about Lucas Coldshore.
You can see as soon as you say the name, she gets this look very suspicious, very incredulous.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas Coldshore.
He said it was our last conversation. We didn't have time to elaborate, but he said if I had this drawer where I went once at least, and we could put requests in and get items back. It's how I refilled on ammo. And he mentioned about this man, and if we could get in contact with people at Seaton. I didn't give him the name of the people I know, but...
Very smart. Lucas is ruthless and a killer and a liar, but he will fulfill a contract that he gets into. So, a sort of necessary evil in times like this, I think. Unfortunately, I don't know anyone who travels the high seas, let's say.
I've got that part covered. It's all right. I just...
Well...
we talked about this.
Oh, yes. Yes, you're right. That would be great. I will send a contact to speak with George, or Forge Georgeman.
Something like that, but yes, he seems to have be using a lot of resources where he can.
That's good. That's very good. Thank you. Excellent work. Kanan, you worked with the guards?
Yes, I did. I found a contact that I think you might find important. Is Oots in the guards. I know he kind of made a big deal of firing me, which I asked him to do. And I would personally like to not talk to him much. But he is willing to fight with us when it comes to it. And he says that he has men and people who can fight for that. As well as, of course, Nensis, as Zarius told you. There's... Oh, I also... I went back to speak with Nensis at the necropolis and asked him about that bone claw we fought. And he said that they're made by corruption of those trying to attain a higher power, and that the only person he knows with that kind of power is Tadriel. So whenever we kill Tadriel, I guess that thing will die or stop coming back to life.
Excellent. Well, that's excellent. It's very good. Taking Greywitch would be a huge asset. We'd be able to make strikes on the city much more effectively without having to transport our materials all the way from Warstop. Give us a local posting. That'd be good. Very good work.
Also, I meant to talk with Zarius last night. But Zarius, if I might ask you a couple questions.
Of course.
If someone were, say, under like a magical thing like Wayland was, would you be able to see that?
See it? Probably not. I mean, I'm sure there are some ways, maybe like detect magic might work depending on the type of thing put upon them. Usually it's kind of a guessing game from symptoms, if you will, and then trying to get rid of it.
All right. I mean, I don't think I'll be in contact with this person again, so I was just curious. Thank you.
Of course.
Well, that is excellent work, Kanan. Oots is... We've had many conversations. I'm happy that you were able to convince him where I could not. I think if we can get his soldiers fighting with us, that would be another major asset. He's usually got about 20 or 30 that sit under him, willing to listen. Okay. Well, Enaira, if you seem kind of out of it from time to time, just coming in and out, are you able to explain your efforts?
For the most part. For the 3 weeks before the weeding, I heard several of his musings. They're the strangest. They almost sound like they could be from songs. There's talks of moonlit waterfalls and hearing the minstrel, and deep in his heart a voice kept echoing he knew he'd soon be wandering. And the week before the weeding, there were talks where he was seemingly arguing with someone who was not there. And some of the topics were just he wanted to be accepted by someone or something again, and he was like, I can't believe she's making me do this. I can't believe I'm allowed myself to be controlled in this way. And I tried to hear what he was going to do after the weeding, but I kept thinking about him and I couldn't really focus, so.
I understand.
But I do... These talks of... When did you go to Seaton?
I did. Yes.
Were there waterfalls of any similar sort by chance?
Well, there used to be. Seaton, I'm not sure if any of you have been there or know the terrain. It is a bay full of mountains and rocks, and it's very treacherous to travel. But it did not always used to be that way. Prior to the revolution led by the Shepherd of Fire, Haversteep Bay was idyllic. It was a sort of inlet, a little paradise, if you will. There used to be waterfalls that traced down on the side and fell into the bay. It was breathtaking, or so I hear. But a battle took place there. A catastrophic fight. And the rumor is that it was a fight between Tadriel and the Shepherd.
And there, his musings make sense.
Although, another rendition is that it was Tadriel and the Shepherd fighting together against something else. Though I'm not sure what. Whatever it was, or whoever it was, must have been powerful enough to warrant a fight. At this moment, Zarius, you feel the handprints as if someone's just squeezing your shoulders gently.
I wonder who looks like Tadra. Wait.
Nara's gonna pull out the rib from her bag and just kind of twirl it in her hand. Go. And this is supposed to take him down.
I don't know, that's your kind of weird nature thing. I don't know anything about that. But hopefully. Well, I appreciate you all doing your work. You have done good work. I'm glad to hear that the time was productive, and that you've made important inroads in the city. It will be of great help when the time finally comes.
I know I'm just a prisoner here, but did you say that Tadriel had been arguing with someone about getting back into something? Is that what I understood? I hear many things at night and picked up on a few things. Tadriel's an angel, right? Well, it sounds like he's said something about being cut off from the celestial realm. It doesn't mean much to me, but it seems important to you, and it seems that something about the weeding refreshes his energy. I don't know, it's all nonsense to me.
And his magics do control the weather. I talked to Nensis about that, right?
You just noticed that as you
noticed
were,
that.
yeah. You just noticed and
Someone else
felt it
talked
from the
to
plants.
Nancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. His mood controls the weather and nature. So, am I getting some intense feedback?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're communicating with aliens.
That's
They're like-
probably. I'm gonna, because it looks like PLU Wi-Fi is back up, and I'm on my phone's hotspot. So I'm gonna try and get back on PLU Wi-Fi.
Sounds good. If Tadriel is truly cut off from the celestial plane, his energy must wane day by day. I mean, it seems that they would need a constant connection, right? I think that would make sense.
Perhaps, and we could find a time where he's weakest, maybe?
Or maybe if we disrupt the weeding.
Wasn't it? Didn't he gain power from the? I don't remember who said that to who. But doesn't he gain power from like the sacrifices and stuff?
Yeah, I don't think Harriet was there for that conversation.
I don't.
It just
remember.
said it like right now.
Yeah, Ezekiel just said it.
I
And
was
didn't-
zoned. I was looking
and
through my.
Didn't
I'm
you
sorry.
you saw him say stuff, right? At the meeting?
Yeah, at the
Someone
weeding.
did.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Kanan
Zari's
heard,
raised lips.
and Kanan heard,
Can we read lips?
and
Every man.
yes, Zarius saw that he said, "Every man must meet his destiny," and then afterwards he said, "Through you I vanish my sorrow." So, yeah, perhaps if we disrupt the weeding, we can, I don't know, weaken him somehow, or affect his ability to refresh himself.
Now that we're all together, I almost forgot, but I had a dream, and Apollodux showed me around the city, and showed me how the victims for the reading are selected. It seems to be some kind of demonoid creature. I think I don't really remember, but some kind of demonoid creature. I think it kissed him in his sleep, and then White's hair appeared.
Link sits back, and you see her kind of thinking. She says, "I have heard stories, but I assume they were just rumors, of when those who are selected, when they're selected, they speak of seeing a winged person standing on their chest, sitting on their chest. I figured they were just nearing the veil of death, that's all. But if this is true..."
That's not what it looks like. I mean, sorry.
Well, you are around it more than we are, I suppose. But if this is true, maybe just killing those creatures can solve the problem. You all are pretty good at killing stuff, right? It's kind of your thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing.
So find and kill. might be something we can take care of. Very
Problem
good.
is finding it and remaining discreet while doing so.
Well, whatever they are not visible. I know because I've watched the selection take place. And I saw nothing.
So how are we supposed to see this thing?
Sudden
One of us
magics.
need to like do some hokey pokey and get this thing to choose us?
I think once you
Do the
turn
whole-
yourself around, you'll find that there are magical solutions. Sorry. There may be magical
I mean,
solutions to this problem.
That,
I was
that
going to
is
say, I
what
think,
it's all about.
yeah, that is what it's all about. So if we could,
Oh. I hate you guys. That took me too long.
Even just filling a room with smoke might enable us to see the shape.
maybe, but how do we know what room? I mean, it could be any room in the entire city.
Yeah, that's a good point. If we know where they are, I can make them visible.
Curious if
Well,
your
that's
lady
useful.
friend showed you the first one.
Is there a sort of pattern to it?
You're the one who's been here. Is there?
But you're the ones that have been investigating, aren't you?
We've only been here for a couple of weeks.
I've been investigating this for several years.
We have Celine.
I can tell you. The pattern is that there is no pattern. It is random on purpose to spread fear. If
So
everyone,
we fill every room with smoke.
every room in the entire city
And then we have to watch every single room.
at the same time.
So we light the entirety of the city on fire and then look for things flying around.
Would
To
save
save the
everyone from the
city.
weeding.
It
No,
would
You
also-
can't be weeded if you're already dead. That is a horrible joke.
I no longer wish to be here. I am in the company of madmen.
Varus's next poster.
Yeah.
Do any of you happen to know any good researchers, or are any of you good researchers? Our resources are fairly thin here. We don't exactly have access to great libraries anymore.
I can try, but I mean,
We have friends on the outside that'd probably be good at that, but sending messages across the borders is a no-no.
Well, that will have to wait for a little while then, I suppose, until we can get word out. Well, this brings me to my next point here. I too spent my time, well, and learned of a, how shall I say, peculiar group of potential allies. Have any of you ever heard of the Gith? If you want to make a history check to see, you can.
Please.
George has. Duncan Darius has.
It depends. Is it something local? Would that even be a consideration?
It might have been a thing that Ezekiel may have read about in a book one time.
I'll give it a shot then. Not many other people seem to be. Oh wow.
18. None of you have heard of the Gith. It's a
Fair.
22 DC, so
No, it's okay.
pretty
Player
obscure
Brandon
thing.
knows what they are.
Yeah.
But
She says, well, their history is rich and cultured, and they are people with deep traditions and legends, and all of that doesn't matter for our purposes. What matters to us is that they hate Tadriel. At the time of my intelligence, there are about 50 of them left, and they are trapped underground in the gold mines of the Remus Mountain Range. Yes, the same mines referred to in the report that you got from the messenger. Obviously.
And we go there
Oh, go ahead.
anyway. And I have reasons to be there anyway.
Obviously, this will be dangerous. It will take us several days of travel to get there, and once we're there, expect to spend potentially several weeks down there. The cave is a network of collapsed tunnels, a maze of open trails, and lava, all kinds of other dangers. So, there is no map. We just have to look until we find them. there are rumors of the barrier between worlds being thinner down there at several places. So, if we can potentially find a place like that, we may be in very good shape. And there also may be horrifying monsters waiting to kill us around every corner.
Well, we can also be the horrifying monsters waiting to kill them around every corner.
Casual
Am I
Tuesday.
right?
You are right.
I can turn into a monster at will.
Oh, you are doing that right now.
Burn.
She'll give you a wink.
I'll be right back. 1 sec.
This is the moment where Varus looks through the fourth wall at the camera, like,
Well, Ezekiel. Sound like you're up for the task?
Well, I'm too dangerous to be let go and too useful to be killed. Is that about the matter of it?
Well, certainly sounds like you have the brains for the group.
Well, what exactly is a death claw?
Good question.
Oh, it was like this big fleshy monstrosity thing that kind of just shot its claws through you and drug you around everywhere until you died.
It was
Think like
horrifying.
bone spider puppeteer.
And you fought this thing.
Yes.
And barely survived.
It was not our most impressive moment, but we made it out. That's what matters.
Does that sort of thing happen a
holds his
lot
wrist
with
for
your
a
group?
moment.
Absolutely.
Yes, but we make it out.
Most of the time.
Oh, most of the time.
We're
All
all
the time
here.
so far.
All of us are here, Zarius.
Yes, didn't the Bone Claw drop something? You wouldn't know anything about Grey Witch, would you, Ezekiel?
You know, rumors and hearsay mostly. It's been
Well,
mostly
maybe-
wiped out, hasn't it?
Oh, I have a
Yes,
note. It dropped.
Yes, who has the artifact?
I do.
Maybe Ezekiel knows something about it?
I know many things about the city, but not much about Grey Witch.
Well, take a look anyway. And Zillion will kind of hold her hand out, asking Harriet for that.
Yeah, Harriet had been intentionally not getting too specific about this with Zarius in particular, from what she had read from those notes.
Okay.
But yeah, she'll kind of pause and be like, Harriet, whatever, and just give it to Zelene.
Which artifact is this?
It's a locket. It says
Is it?
to Alexander, my
is that
love.
correct, Haley?
Oh, is this the locket thing? I have that in my box.
I think you have the locket. I have, okay, yeah, you have it. I have the papers about it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I was getting messed up. Okay, yeah.
I was gonna say, I remembered Kanan showing it earlier.
That's what I meant then.
Oh, you mean the locket we found in it?
A locket. Well, I suppose
Alright.
I can take a look at it.
She'll open her box and pull it out and be like, be careful, we want to be quick with it. We found it in the thing.
In the
Bone Claw.
where did you get this? You
In-
said in the Bone Claw. Yes, I recognize this. It belonged to my best friend, Alexander. He was killed in the weeding several years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
What was it doing on a ferocious monster like that? I saw him die.
I think he was dead
Suppose we
when
haven't
they did
spoken
it.
in a long time, though.
Kanan, are we able to let him keep that?
I mean, yeah.
I think we should.
Thank you. This is an image of his wife, Elizabeth. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize for grieving here.
It seems that my interests in this have just increased somewhat. You will help me find out more about this, won't you?
Of
Please.
course.
Thank you. I will have to ask them tonight.
Yeah, is them the voices you said?
I suppose now I can tell you, I see no reason to speak in vagaries anymore. Since I've been very young, I've had a certain connection to death. You must have seen it in the city. It's all around. There's the necropolis for one. Sometimes I can hear them speaking, those that have died, and sometimes even see them. In a strange way, they keep me a sort of grim company, but things they say are often disturbing. But it has proved a useful skill in my time. Often they know things that those among the living do not.
Do you talk back to them?
I can, sometimes, when their connection is close enough. Many years ago, I worked as a spy during the revolution. I'm not sure if you are familiar. There was a large revolution in the region of Haversteep and beyond. I was a soldier of sorts. But I was never on the front lines. I worked espionage. I think those skills might be the most useful thing I can offer you at this point.
I think, I'm sure those will be useful, Ezekiel. Not going to undersell you that. I think you do enough of that yourself, it seems. But I think the skill that in this group, we all have different skills, but the most useful skill we all have is hope, you know. Hope that we can impact things with whatever skills we have, and hope that we can change things, and if not, there are people changing things, you know. So
I haven't had hope in a very long time, but
you can find it again.
I do sense a little bit of it in you all. Thank you.
Sneaks up on you, Hope. So, well, I know you can't be snuck up on, apparently, but seems sometimes it still can happen. So, maybe it will find you, you know?
Oh yeah, actually that's it's true for another reason. I didn't even think of that when I got attacked cannon, but yes. Oh. I need a moment to think. Please continue with your matters. They're much more important right now.
Of course.
I just want to say that was very well said, Harriet.
Well, prior to the mines, we have been graced with a fateful opportunity. God Captain Zene and the new leader of the Scries are traveling, Samara is her name, are traveling with a small cohort to Seaton. They will be relatively unguarded, aside from themselves and their aides, which gives us a perfect chance to strike. I leave this up for you to decide, since it is you putting your lives on the line. And as much as I'd like to, I can't do it alone. I need your help. So, do we strike and weaken those serving Tadriel? Or do we bide our time and head to the mines straight away? This could be our last look at the sky for some time.
You said Zene?
Yes.
I'm all for taking her out. But Zarius, before we, kill her, could you try to see if there's anything magical going on in her head? And if you don't see anything, we'll just kill her right away.
Yeah, I can give it a shot.
Okay. I just don't want to... I don't know. Her story's so weird. I spoke to Oots and he said she was trying to save a loved one from the weeding and got caught and came back without an eye. And then she was taken back, came back with an eye, and ever since has been all for the system here, which just sounds a little too convenient to me. I mean, why would you be for the system that took your lover? But I can't see if anything's magical, so I don't know. I don't want to kill anyone if it's not them actively doing it in themselves.
Well, Kanan, I appreciate your concern, and certainly we can practice some restraint. But there are some people who, once they have been affected by this kind of system, see it as the only key to safety, and that anything disrupting that is unacceptable. It's a cause for greater fear, greater danger than simply complying. It could be that she's in such situation.
Loss causes people to lose much of their hope, and any hope in the good, for certain. Trust me, I know firsthand.
But if
Yeah.
Zarius, you are okay with doing this, then we can practice some restraint.
Yes. I mean, the simplest way would just be with a detect magic. It's fairly low level, so if it's anything complex, it won't work. But anything more than that would be expend a good deal of my energy, as well as be far less subtle.
I'm not so worried for you to try anything complex. She was quite an asshole, to be frank.
Frank, well, I mean, of course I can try. It's the least we can do. Just have to be within 30 feet of them.
So we're going back in.
They are traveling to Seaton, so we can meet them on the way. I think it would be wise for us to get some distance between them and the city so they can't get reinforcements readily. Otherwise, we would have an angel knocking on our door. And as much as I'd like to get crushed with his giant hammer, I don't want to die.
Well, shall we head to Cretan then? Seaton? Crete?
Yes.
Seaton.
Very well. You all can head through the city if you'd like to. But
Nope.
take care. The hours after the weeding are usually quiet, but certainly not without danger. Personally, I'll skirt around the city and meet you on the other side. There's a large boulder due west from the city with a dugout underneath. That is where I'll be. If you all are coming with me right away, then we can all travel together. We'll just have to go the long way.
I think I'll go the long way.
I'll go the long way, yes.
Might as well.
I don't suppose you're letting me out of your sight anytime soon.
Not just yet.
Very well.
Well, Samaro's convoy will leave... sorry, I wrote this wrong. Samaro's convoy left at dawn. So, we would be in the best position to strike tomorrow evening, most likely. It will take us a little while to catch up, and then we can make our attack. Darkness is always a valuable ally, of course. And this will give us enough distance between the city so that they won't readily receive aid.
And enough time for us to get acquainted with our new friend over here, eyeing Ezekiel.
We'll go wide-eyed in response.
When he says that, he really means it. Vars is a talker.
Yeah, he's not going to try to kill you.
It's true.
Suppose that's an improvement.
Speaking of which, I don't think we've been acquainted. Varsolimi, nice to meet you. Here's my card. And he'll pull out the Vagabonds playing cards he got in the cipher, one that has him on it, and hand it towards you. Probably like the Joker or something.
Oh. Yes. Oh, you're suddenly an eccentric one, aren't you? All right.
It's my middle name. Just in Elvish.
I thought your middle name was Danger.
I have several middle names.
Elves.
Varus, eccentric danger.
Ezekiel Rosenfeld, although it seems that most of you know that already.
Oh, right, we should probably tell you our real names. Sarius is mine.
I'm Harriet.
Inira.
I am Zeline.
You heard my name earlier. I'm Kanan.
Yeah, sorry about that, Abigail. I think you did mistakenly do it once, and I just rolled with it. So,
Well, we've all said hello. We need to get walking because they're already ahead of us, and we have some tracking to do. All right. Okay, so you all head out and venture out exactly as you're walking there. Zeline leading the way, skirting way out and around the outskirts of the wall so that you can't be seen by the guards on the top of the tower. It's fairly easy to do, but it is something that you have to pay attention to and so can't travel quite as quickly as maybe you'd like. But you managed to travel for the better part of the day and make pretty good time. Two people make survival checks.
I've got one.
I've got.
Oh, never
Oh,
mind.
okay. No, do you want it or do you want me to?
I can do it. Survival?
Okay. Is the feedback still
Perfect.
bad?
Yes.
Yes.
It's pretty bad.
Okay. So 15 and 16, great. You make pretty good time. You manage to find that more easy routes along the plan. I mean, it's you're walking across a big open grassy field. It's not like it's that hard, but you manage to make pretty good time on your travels, and eventually you quickly find yourselves rounding that large boulder that Zeline said she would meet you at the night before. So at this point, you're getting, you spent a couple hours talking, catching up. You've traveled around a giant city, so it's getting close to time to rest here. So you can rest at this boulder if you'd like to. Otherwise, you can continue on trying to find a place, but this is like a really easy spot. There's just where the rock is, underneath it is a whole like cave. Looks like it was for a badger or something like that, but it's big enough to fit most of you in there, though not all at once. So 2 people would probably have to stay out of it at a time. But so you all can stay there if you'd like to. Okay.
Well, this looks perfect. I can take first watch if anyone wants to join me. I don't think we'll all fit.
I can join you and do the second one as well.
Perfect.
Elves.
Wake up for the third.
I can join Zarius on the third or take a fourth, whichever. I forget how many we do in a night, even though we've done this for forever.
I think it's 4?
I believe it's full.
It's 4.
Yeah.
I'll take the 4.
I can help out with a watch if you all want.
How about you join me on the second watch, Ezekiel?
Oh, okay.
And I will sleep.
Sounds like a
Before
good
going to
arrangement,
bed.
Zeline.
Zarius is gonna place his hand on Ezekiel's shoulders, like,
Good luck.
and go to sleep.
Why did you?
Okay. All right. So, first watch. Go ahead and make perception checks.
Whoa.
Nice, 25. Dang. 20. Okay,
Whoa.
great. Yeah, you both are. I mean, you're a little closer to the city than you'd probably like. Than would be perfectly ideal. And Kanan, you knowing the guard patrols, they're not going to come out this far. The Night Watch guards are lazy on this side of town. So, You feel confident that they're not going to come out, although it would be nice to have a little bit more distance. But from here, you can see them like setting a fire just on the inside of the walls, like the inside of the gate. Sorry, and you see them standing around talking. They bust out like a big ball and start kicking it around and whatever. They're just kind of goofing off, like being lazy soldiers kind of thing. The other direction, you see the road in the distance. I mean, you're ways off, so this is all in the distance. But the other direction, you see eventually the road kind of curve towards you and continue on away from you toward where the sunrise happens in. But other than that, it's just a big grassy open area aside from this gigantic rock. So it's not a ton to see, but the skies overhead are still clear, which is nice. Is there anything you all want to talk about or do on your watch? Trying to work on anything.
So,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
what? Okay. So, Varus, oh gosh, I forgot. It's all good.
Well,
sorry.
if you remember, we'll be here for another 2 hours, so feel free to let me know.
All right.
It is nice to be back with everyone.
Yeah. Kind of lonely. I don't know, just being out on our own.
Yeah. And,
Very stressful trying to talk to you guys.
Yeah. And I mean, with everything that you had to do, was that yesterday? Couldn't imagine having to lead that guy up there.
I mean, we kill people weekly. It's just another person to remember.
Well, most of the time, the people that we kill are pieces of shit or gross amalgamations of death. So, not just people.
So, I don't know, this is on a similar note. And if it doesn't matter much, just feel free to tell me. But I'm still really bothered. Not necessarily by the weeding yesterday, or the day before. Gosh, whenever it happened. But Anara's been with us so long. And I don't know who she is and what she stands by. She's completely okay condemning someone that's been close to us forever to death. And yet she claims she hates killing things. And by golly, she sure seems to be fine dealing the blow. And I know I've just got some ants in my pants and it's nothing really. We all have our flaws, trust me. I've swung a few too many punches, but what if that's one of us next time?
The weeding, you mean? Or
No. On a boat, having to give our lives away. What if that's Harriet? And I don't know, some reason Anira thinks Harriet should go because Harriet's lived plenty of life. And she just looked like she preferred it. I don't know. I don't know who she is. And she very frankly has expressed to us that she doesn't know why she's here with us. And I don't know how to bring it up to her. And I don't think I will. But I don't know. I figured you might have better insight. You're better with people. I may look at them and look at their stories a lot, but you know how people tick.
Well, are you asking me about her being okay with Fang giving himself up, or are you asking me about not knowing her very well?
I don't know what I'm asking.
I mean, it might
Maybe
be.
if you've seen the same things I do, or if you see a little more purpose in her being with us.
Well, she's very good at what she does, which for the last little while has been helping us out. So she's got that going for her. And, as we gain fame, renown, whatever, as our word gets around, there's going to be people that want to help us who agree with what we're doing. And, sometimes we just have to take who we can get, not saying that, like, and I was horrible or anything, but, sometimes we just, sometimes we just have to accept the people that are helping us simply because they're helping us, and there's nobody else who would be willing to do that.
Right.
But if you do think that you don't know her very well, then maybe that's a good opportunity to sit down and have a conversation with her beyond just, hey, we're going to kill something tomorrow. What is your plan for that? Maybe sit down, have a cup of tea with her and just chat. I mean, you and I do that. You do that with Harriet and Zarius. You take the time to, I don't know, figure out who Naira is beyond just the Vagabonds, beyond just killing people weekly. I don't know. And maybe we could all do that. 'Cause, yeah, I do agree that I don't know Naira as well as I would like to, so.
And I guess I've only really approached her when I've been upset at her, so I can't seem like much of a friendly conversation. Today is a great example of that, by the way.
Yeah, you almost beat that man half to death.
Well, I mean, not beating him up, but, being a little hostile towards her. I mean, how can you not notice him, or at least get to know him if you're working with him? But, I mean, I don't know. I guess if Zane showed up on us, I'd expect you guys to be mad at me. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've done stupid things and was very mad at myself when I slipped up to Corzin. Very rightfully deserved your guys' anger. So maybe I'm just self-reflecting here.
I mean, one thing that I hope that you know about me is that I'm never angry. Or at least I try not to be. I don't think I am.
I was gonna say, you seem pretty angry at Corzin, and if anyone got your girl back home, I'm sure you'd be all fire and flames.
This is true. This is true. Luckily, it hasn't come to that yet. Knock on wood. But we all make mistakes. It's just part of who we are. So, and it's okay to get mad at people for those and be like, "Hey, don't do this again." But everyone handles mistakes differently, I guess.
Once again, you've proven to be the best resource I have on knowing people. So
I'm just a guy. I'm just Varus. What can I say?
well, if you've got it out here, I'll squeeze in there and grab Ezekiel's foot or something.
Oh,
Wake
please,
him up.
drag him out here. I would love that. No, that wasn't sarcasm.
And Kanan will go in
Good night,
And she'll
Kanan.
like squeeze in, and I know it's way too tight in there for another person.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll squeeze in right next to Ezekiel and be like, just kind of tap him. Ezekiel.
Oh, that time already.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for threatening you so much.
I suppose it's all right. I've been in worse scraps. Not recently, though.
Yeah. Well, Varus is out there waiting for you. Excited to see me drag you out, but I'm not gonna do that. So, good night.
I appreciate it. And I guess second watch.
All right. Second watch, go ahead and make perception checks.
I do have to ask. It's how dark is it?
Just dark. It's nighttime.
I don't
you know?
technically have dark vision.
Yeah, so you
'cause
can't see.
I am human. I do have Skulker, which means I can see in dim light.
Okay.
But if there's no light, then
Actually,
I can't see.
I was gonna say it's clear sky, so you do have some moonlight, so you can
If it's
see a little
dim
bit.
light-
Yeah.
Okay, then I can see because feats
Yeah.
are cool.
Yeah.
So I will just roll a normal one, but yeah.
It's about where I expected. Yeah. The lights that were in the previous watch, like near where the gate was, are out. So it's just dark out. I mean, again, you have moonlight, but it's not like a full moon or anything, so it's not super bright. But it's just clear sky, so you can see just like you see in real life at night.
Yeah.
And you get the sense it's just a pretty big open grassy area around you.
Ezekiel will, unless Varus immediately jumps him, will have pulled out the locket and start kind of fiddling with that.
Varus is going to purposefully try and create awkward silence for the first 10 minutes of the watch.
Good luck with that. Ezekiel does not notice. That's his life.
But then after 10 minutes, Varus is going to try and he's just going to stare at Ezekiel. And if Ezekiel notices or if he doesn't, at some point when Ezekiel is wholly focused on something, Varus is going to disguise self into the fish statue.
Okay. All right.
Oh, trying to not have him see.
You need to
Yes.
give a description of the fish statue,
Yeah.
unfortunately, for Brandon, as much as I don't want to relive it.
They were like it was like a grun fish god, right?
Yeah,
like
so-
just a
yeah.
disgusting wooden
It was-
statue.
It was, yeah, so the wooden statue was made by these grung. It was very rudimentary, but it was obviously a fish, like a big, wide-mouthed fish. And it was the whole body of the fish with, like, humanoid legs sticking out of it and arms. Just like someone had cut out from a magazine and pasted on, like, you know, bodybuilder arms and legs onto a fish. And so Varus transformed into a flesh version of this statue. So that's what you're seeing in front of you, is this gross, like, you know, slimy-looking, fleshy, meaty-looking fish thing.
A very slight moment of surprise, but then I bury dead bodies for a living. I'm used to seeing slightly macabre things.
Varus will change back. And, I mean,
But I will admit that's definitely one of the stranger things I've seen in life.
that means I won. Good job. All right. Yeah, so we got introduced today. Today? I don't know. Time is weird. Do you do art at all? Just out of curiosity.
Not really. I've tried my hand at sewing and I've gotten quite good at that.
Oh? Do tell.
Well, I can't really afford to replace my outerwear very often. You might notice there are several patches. Points to several slightly discolored patches that are not matching the rest of his little like suit jacket thing he wears. So I've picked up the skill over time.
Out of a lack of funds to purchase your own? Is that what this is?
Mostly. I find it slightly relaxing as well. Oh, how my throat's gone. My
Well-
mother used to sew when I was young.
Oh. That's neat. Well, the first thing that you should learn about me is that I am the most gullible person here. And in that regard, I'm going to help you with your little poverty situation, and Varus is going to take out 10 platinum and give it to you.
Okay.
No, certainly I couldn't.
You're going to, because I'm not touching that again. Consider this an investment into our friendship. I don't know. I don't want you to die as much as they all down there want to kill you if you betray us. I could care less because you're not going to betray us anyways, right?
Don't have a reason to now.
So take the money. Consider it a gift.
He will reluctantly take the money. Although, if I'm reading my character sheet right, Matt, you put a lot of currency in there because
Yeah,
I don't
did.
think I added any of them. Okay,
Figured a lifetime
like
of savings,
it's lifetime savings, yeah.
But on another note, you talked a little bit about how you've done, like, espionage before.
Yes. What about it?
Did you travel very much? Or was it just around here?
I made it to some of the surrounding cities, but the conflict was localized mostly in the region.
And those skills that you learned in that time period, you took those and became a gravekeeper?
The gravekeeping is a family profession.
Huh.
I, like so many other young men of my age, of my time, joined up when the fighting started. Fighting for some greater cause or something like that, I suppose. A lot of good that did us.
You're the opposite of me then. You took up the adventuring life and then returned to the family profession. I left my family profession to take up the adventuring life. And there's something that you now know about me.
Yes, well, you're making an attempt, certainly. Apologize
People
if I'm
are my
not the
business.
most receptive.
People are my business. I'm a performer by trade when I'm not, doing this. So,
It's been a while since I've had a conversation with someone else. Well, living at least.
I don't know how to feel about that. Okay. If you ever want to talk to someone that's alive, I'm here. But
I'll give it some thought.
All right. And we'll say that the conversation like this continues for the rest of your watch.
That's fine, yeah.
About the end, you wake up the next watch. I believe it's Zarius, right? And Harriet? Okay.
Yep.
So you two go ahead and make perception checks.
Perception.
Gonna grab water.
Nice, 27.
That won't be me. It's...
17. Pretty good. Yeah, so you wake up and you take in the surrounding area. You notice, again, the sky is still clear, which is, ordinary everywhere else, but here it's kind of remarkable that it's still clear after a full day and a half since the weeding. But you don't, over the course of your watch, you don't see anything in particular that stands out to you as, like, dangerous or anything like that, so, yeah. If there's anything that you two would like to talk about, great, we can do that. If not, we can move on. There's no pressure either way.
I don't think Zarius has too much unless Harriet had something to say.
She had something, if that's all right.
Yeah.
You know, Zarius, I spent these last few weeks with Forgeman, and hearing just from him about how Apollodox, what she meant to him.
Mhm.
It's very interesting. It's never really been my thing at all. I just kind of magic just kind of happens. I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, I know that we've seen some very dramatic displays of Apollodox from you and her, but and I know kind of about the vase thing and like some about that, but do you talk to her daily, or I don't really see you do, I don't know what you do, prayers or
No,
things
no,
like what is that? If you're all right sharing,
of
that's really
course.
personal, but what does
No.
that look like for you?
Well, when I was young, I think we've talked about this before, I kind of stumbled into a temple and knocked over a vase, and that's how we met. Um, so it's not, the usual deity appears in your dreams and then you choose to pledge your life to them. It is more. There's a good deal of respect involved, but I've never been one to pray. It's always been more about mutual gain.
Like your actions are what you give her instead of words, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say there's a great deal of service that goes into it. There's a great deal expected.
Seems like it. Seems like she trusts you with quite a lot. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know how many of followers are out there, but it doesn't seem like they're all releasing parts of her into the world.
yeah.
So
I
you
don't.
must be doing something special.
Could be others, could not be. I don't really know. That is one of the first I met. Being sealed away and all. Not many people want to follow a piece of a god. Well, angel, whatever.
Well, maybe you think as we free more, there might be more people
Have
that
to
would
wait and
follow
see.
her. Maybe me, I don't know.
Maybe.
So is that the goal here?
Yes,
Free all of them.
I think so.
What do you think she'll be like when it's all the pieces?
I have no idea. But from what I understand, she fought against Hadriel.
Was she all her pieces then? Do you know?
I think so. I believe it was, if I remember correctly, from someone a while back. She was whole, and Tadriel and the shepherd and maybe a couple other people worked to split her and seal her away in different pieces. That might have been that fight we heard about earlier.
So when you first saw and was trying to figure this all out, when you first interacted with her as a child, was that just a piece of her? Do you know? Or was
Most
that all of
likely,
her?
no, it's most likely just the piece that I,
Or maybe maybe
freed.
that's why she likes you so much. It's one thing to be a god or an angel or anybody and be liked for everything that you do, but for someone to just see one part of you and choose to respect you, I mean it, that's wild. So maybe that's it. And anyways, I just I suppose I'm just thinking more about it. Doesn't seem like our group's interaction with her is anything close to done. So
No,
maybe I should
as a
know a
matter of
little more.
fact, there's 2 pieces that I know the location of that we'll be
Oh,
in touch with fairly soon.
well then.
There's one in the gold mines we're going to somewhere. I'm not sure what that one is. And the other, she told me in the same dreams, those fiends that were doing the weeding. Her good is trapped in the locket around Tadriel's neck.
Well, here's to freeing those pieces then.
Yeah. Along with many other souls that suffer under him.
Well, thank you for sharing. That's, maybe it's unfair of me. I've made some judgments about her maybe a little too soon. Like I said, I would hate if someone judged me just based on one part of me, not the whole. It's a bit unfair, humanoid or angel. So.
It's hard to tell when you're looking at a full piece. How will you know when to make your judgment?
But if all followers of Apollodux are, I would suppose, reflections of her in some way, all 100% of the ones I've met have been quite grand. So.
Well, we never know. I mean, like, Cain or someone could have been following Apollodux for all we know.
Sure.
Didn't really think to ask.
I don't think that was in the top 10 questions.
No, probably not.
Seem to be much more passionate about that gentleman in the letter than any woman, so.
Yes.
But, well, thanks for sharing, I suppose.
The rest of your watch passes, and you wake up the next group, which I believe is Anira and...
No, just Anira.
Anira. Well,
Anira!
You're awake on your own, enjoying the nice open plains and the big rock. Go ahead and make a perception check. 13. Yeah. It's a nice night. It's quiet, it's peaceful. A few times throughout the night you think you might see dragonflies kind of just dancing about. It's a very peaceful night. If there's anything you'd like to do in particular on your watch, you're free to do so.
She probably would do some, like, while still keeping watch and, like,
Sure.
keeping her wits about her, some, like, meditation
Yeah.
that she hasn't done in a while.
All right.
To see if anything comes up or if it's just normal peace bringing.
Takes you a little while to get into it. It takes you some time to get back in that practice of getting your mind in the right place, getting your body aligned and all that stuff. By the end of your doing, and every now and then you're snapped out of it by a bug that, kind of flies up your nose or something, but you, after getting yourself in that right headspace, you do find that place where you can really reflect and connect with the nature that's around you, and you feel just a deep sadness coming from the land, coming from the grasses. Everything around you just has this deep weight of sadness, and for a little bit in there you feel your heart almost breaking for the sake of the land that's just been subjected to this weight for so long. And you gain a little bit of insight into just how far this goes. It's very pervasive, but the further that you've gotten from the city, the less that weight has been there. So but other than that, your watch passes without real issue.
Cool.
But all right, so the next day.
Real quick, is the feedback bad?
No, you're good.
Okay, it was because my phone was behind my microphone and I'm using my hotspot, so we're good.
Okay. All right, so you set out. So in the morning, you all awake together. You eat a light breakfast of your packed rations and those kinds of things. But eventually day breaks, and you all rouse yourselves from sleep, preparing for the day ahead. If there's anything you all would like to do when you get together before you head out, you can do that. Otherwise, we can move on, but no big deal.
Am I able to make tea?
Yeah, you got time.
Okay, it's very important.
Yeah.
Making breakfast, making tea.
While we're enjoying tea, Varus is gonna maybe have a brain moment. Guys, I had an idea. For those who have been in the city before and spent time there, is there any way that we could possibly get someone to be weeded? Like if we piss off Tadriel enough?
Like, didn't I say that yesterday?
Did you?
Well, I said hokey pokey, but
No, turn yourself around, Kanan. We're talking about something different.
There are rumors that some that are killed are rebels or those that are against Tadriel, but that could just be just about anybody in that city. Doesn't seem like that's the most reliable way. Plus, it sounds like it might even be random for the purposes of secrecy.
So I was just thinking, if we could get one of us to be weeded, and we knew that, we could all, like, I don't know, be prepared for when one of us gets smooched on the face by this person, thing, whatever, and attack them when they're trying to weed us.
What if we create a grand scheme and convince everybody in the town to sleep in the same room for a very not suspicious reason? Then we only have to
Wait.
watch one room.
You know, I'm being serious here.
I'm not exactly joking. I mean, if it's the six of us,
If we,
I feel like if he wanted to kill us, he'd just smite us dead.
yes, I feel if we were to earn the ire of Tadriel, he wouldn't be sending his.
That's why I'm asking if there's any way that we can force one of us to be weeded.
I mean, it seems like even some of the people who've been chosen have been insanely loyal.
Yes, that man that was, while we were there, seemed to be incredibly loyal, but kind of a dick. But
We could ask him about it.
sorry, what?
Adriel?
No, the man that died.
How?
Oh, that's what you mentioned yesterday, right? You talked to those people?
I grabbed them. I grabbed this. Does it? And I will pull out the soul trinket. Matt, does it have any? Do you have any special thing for this?
However you want it to look. I mean, it's within reason. It's yours.
Well, it's dependent on the person. So I thought
Okay.
if you had anything that this
Yeah.
person had a specific
Yeah. So
emblem or anything.
Yeah, this guy. It's like a glass teardrop, inside of a small cage.
very
Is what
cool.
you got. So it's like an amber-colored glass teardrop.
Well, I don't fully understand it myself, and I need you all to stay with me, but this doesn't sound like the oddest thing you've seen. I've taken to calling them soul trinkets. It's a small part of that man's soul. I grabbed it when he died a few days ago. It allows me to form a very temporary connection between myself and a particular soul. If there's anything you want to ask him, we could, but his spirit will probably only stay around long enough for one or so questions.
I think you can ask all the questions.
I suppose we want to know if he.
It's very important we only get one.
What are we trying? We're trying to know if there was a sign that he was the one who was chosen.
I mean, if there was something he did, maybe. But I think the
That's
whole
what I
point.
want to know. If there's something that we could do that would force one of us to be the next selected.
I can certainly ask if he was loyal to Tadriel or if he did anything to upset them. That might get us some information at least.
Do you think he knows where this thing is? You know, being dead and all?
Where what is?
The thing that kissed him?
I'm not sure much about it, but it was invisible, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know how death works, but would it be visible by someone who is dead?
It's unlikely. I really
What?
don't know. That seems much more. I'm quite a simple man.
I don't know how death works.
Let's give it a shot. I will. How I have to do it is I hold it in one hand and crush it, and it shatters into kind of like glass shards,
Yeah.
ethereal glass shards.
Sorry. That's just really fun. Yeah, I don't know how death works, says the one who kills people on a
One
regular
punch.
basis.
I only know how to start it.
Well, but to be fair, until a couple days ago, they thought once you were dead, you were done, and now I come
That's
and say,
true.
"Hey, you can actually talk to them if you want."
Oh, I mean, Harriet died.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
also true.
I'm not up on all my
you're
my
fine, you're
baggage claim lore.
Kanan's a simple person.
Package
But
claim
right.
lore, yeah. Harriet died once and was revivified, I believe,
Yeah.
by
Yep.
Zarius.
Okay, so
Kanan's more like, I don't know what it's like to be dead. I don't know how death works.
all right, so Ezekiel, you withdraw this glass teardrop here. It's sort of amber shade, refracts the light very beautifully in the morning sunlight. And you crush it, and you feel a little bit of pain. You take a point of piercing damage as the glass shatters into your hand. But you open your hand up, and the dust kind of fades out away and just sort of dissolves open. And you see a strange sort of haunting apparition. You all have seen ghosts before. It's not quite that. It's like a thinner, paler version of that. You can see right through it, no problem. And it seems like wherever you are in facing it, the face seems to be facing you. It's a very strange experience. But it seems preeminently focused on Ezekiel.
Greetings, spirit. We have questions for you.
Ask, and I will answer.
I know your time is not long. We shall not ask much. Before you died, were you in good graces with Tadriel, the Lord of Haversteep? Or had you done something to earn his ire?
As far as I knew, I was loyal. He had no reason to suspect me of anything, and I had done nothing wrong. But my wife, and before her my children, were all taken.
And you hear him just sort of evaporate out and dissipate into the air.
We all heard this?
Yeah, everybody heard this.
Celine had said it was random, correct? To help instill fear.
Yes, but for a whole family to be taken.
If I were
Random.
doing something random like that, I would hide something purposeful in it every now and again.
And Zeline points at you, Varus, and says,
Precisely. Every now and then, random isn't quite the right word. But random with purpose, I think that's fitting.
We're
Well,
still far from our answer.
no. I don't know. It was just a thought, and it does require us to wait until the next meeting, or the one after that, or the one after that.
Well,
So,
for now, we should probably, get after pursuing the guards. That
This
are
is
left.
true. It was just an idea that I had, and knowing me, I
No,
would
it's just
forget that in
good.
like 5 minutes.
Yeah, good that we acted on it now.
Ezekiel, do you drink tea? I shoved tea on you last time, but do you drink tea? Asking fully, and you can say no.
When I was younger, I did. I don't get many more specialty drinks like that nowadays. I do recall once that we dumped quite a lot of tea into a harbor, but that's about it.
I saw Harriet get a cup like that.
Oh, the one with the harbor. Yes, I had a teapot with a harbor on it. I gave it to Jen a while back. So I guess there was tea in that harbor too. But here It may be a specialty, but it's important to me, so I make tea almost every morning, night, and then probably at some point in the afternoon, and maybe a few more times. So if you ever want tea, never a bother. I love tea. Everyone else here probably thinks it's a nuisance, so feel free to ask me for tea at any time. It's my favorite thing.
You only go to other dimensions sometimes.
We don't talk about that. Don't worry about Zarius.
I see.
Mostly teasing.
Well, I think I'll stick
Teasing?
with the tea then.
All right. Yeah, that's just the weird pumpkin tea I picked up once. So as long as it's not pumpkin,
If
fine.
it's pumpkins, you're about to have a very fun night.
Or not fun at all.
But it's not. Stop scaring him.
He's gonna take a deep look at the teacup this time now.
99% of teacups I have had did
Does
not
Ezekiel-
produce drug-induced one-shots.
Does Ezekiel have the teacup in his hand with tea in it right now?
Yeah.
Varus is going to prestidigitate it so it tastes like pumpkin tea.
No. I
Um,
don't want to have tea with me anymore.
No, we just gotta. It's hazing. You know, he's the new guy.
No.
We gotta show him we love him.
No.
Teasing.
Oh
That's
my
good.
goodness, teasing.
I love that.
oh no.
All right.
So he takes a sip of it. It's pumpkin tea, so he abruptly stops
But
and
is
looks
there something
around,
wrong?
making sure
You want-
nothing
You want
happens.
sugar in it or something?
There is like continues to sip.
What flavor of tea is this?
Ginger?
Didn't taste like ginger.
Varsalibian!
I have no idea what you're talking
She'll
about.
prestidigitate it back to ginger.
Counter prestidigitation, the new cantrip.
I will counterspell your prestidigitation on
use
my.
counterspell.
Yeah, right at the beginning of the day.
All right. Anyway, I think that's enough tea shenanigans for now.
All
We
right.
never stop.
We really
We
should
kill
get going.
things for a living.
Well, you
Like
all get
taste
together,
buds.
and Zelene's all packed up. You all get your stuff together, and you head out across the grassy plains. Go ahead and make two people make survival checks.
I got you.
I got one.
Oh,
What?
Boom! Nat 20. Good
Jeez.
night. All right. So you set out across the broad plains, quickly finding yourselves on the maintained road near the city that leads from Haversteep proper to Seaton. You've made your way along to the road. Walking along the road, the warmth of the sun releases the pleasant smells from the plants and grasses along the way, and you feel the uncontrollable... Oh, I already did that. I was going to say you feel the uncontrollable urge to make survival checks, but you already did it. Dang, I'm getting ahead of myself. You find that on this finally dry but still soft dirt, it's just not soaking wet anymore, you're able to make out fairly clear footprints, Kanan. Zarius, you're off distracted by a bee, but Kanan, you're pretty much right on these footprints. Feet prints. You make a distinction between about 7 different types of footprints. So you would presume that there are 7 people. It seems they're traveling quickly, but you all will be able to catch up with them tonight if you make good time. Based on the map and Zelene's experience, you do know the distance to Seaton, which is about 4 days, so they're at least going to have to stop a couple of times in traveling. So you don't have to catch up to them tonight, but you could, based on if you move quickly, and if, they are not, sprinting it for some reason.
Hey everybody, if we go pretty quickly, we can meet them tonight. Which I think might be the best, so we're not too far from our next objective. Although I don't know where the mines are. I assume they're near Haversteep.
The mines are that way, and Zelene just points, and you see the huge mountains off in the distance to the left of the path.
Well, that seems quite a ways away. So I say we catch up to them as soon as possible so we can get to the mines and be out of sight.
Sounds good. Let's get a move on.
Okay. And as we walk, Kanan's gonna talk to Zarius and be like, so what do you think our best plan is going into this? There's 7 or more people in this group, and I don't know what kind of strength they have.
Well, one of them's the head of the guard, yes?
Yes, I could take her down with help.
Yeah.
But
Alright.
6 other people, I don't know.
We need that kind of confidence, I suppose,
Yeah,
going into this.
I mean,
Don't we have a master of espionage or something here who
yeah.
could help
I
us
mean,
know what's
if-
up there?
If we're going at night, then something like that, and maybe Varus, I know you can turn invisible sometimes if you wanted. But maybe we have a couple people figure a bit more out, and then...
And the one we're going on, her name starts with an S?
There's Samara, yeah.
Samara is,
Oh, I just remembered who Samara is.
Samara's the head of Necropolis, took the place of
Arcturus.
Archie.
She's also the
Took the
leader of the
place of
Scries, which means she
Um,
probably has some magical ability.
Quite a few, if Ninsis is correct.
Well,
Well, so do we. We've got magical abilities and fist power and fire power and power from
Go in
beyond
with
the grave.
plan.
Oh, wait.
if we want, we could always... I mean, I have access to that spell that they always use on us when they attack us at night. Which makes it to where you can't cast spells very easily because you can't speak.
I don't need sound to hit things.
Yeah. Varus is
You
pretty
guys could
talented with the
just-
sword.
Stay far away where you can hear things and speak, and cast your spells.
Sure. Yeah.
If I do more energy, I can. If I can limitedly cast spells without speaking. I just almost never do it.
Well, it's... I mean, it's not really that big an area. Also, I lied. I can't do it today.
Also, then I won't hurt Voss's eardrums if I fire off my gun. I mean, Zarius.
I think silence
Is
is a
he-
ritual spell.
I think it's a ritual, but if you can do it as a regular one if you use a spell slot, right?
Yeah, but you don't have to. is
Oh,
my
yeah,
point.
yeah. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, well, I don't have it prepared.
You don't have to have it prepared. It's a ritual spell.
Yeah, but it would take 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Time,
10
there's
10
space.
minutes of
10
standing there.
10 minutes or be obliterated by the leader of the Scries.
No, that's a. So wait, who are we fighting? We're fighting the leader of the Scries, the leader of the guards, and who else? 5 other people?
Yeah, at least.
I mean,
These aren't just
Why just
normal
now being told
guards.
this?
Why have we been talking like this? It's just a normal group of guards
Yeah,
going
why am
around
I
on a
just
nice
now
little
being
trip.
told this? Who else is part of this group?
To be fair, I did
gonna be
tell
just-
you all before we left that it would be
probably
dangerous.
like Tadriel and his left-hand man, and you know.
Okay, so all cards on the table. There's the leader of the Scries, there's the head of the guard, and who else? Do we know who else?
5
There-
other people.
They're aides.
Okay.
Probably
Why are
just
we fighting
guards.
this?
Guys, we've been up against far worse odds.
That's fair.
True, but I was planning on just walking in and stabbing a few people and walking away. Like, I thought this was going to be easy.
Well, it's been a little while since we've had a fight.
I am out to practice.
We got to show off for Ezekiel, you know?
Be a good warm-up round before Tadriel.
You guys act like I'm a saint or something.
Never acted like that.
To be fair, there are 7 of us,
and I know my way around a fight, as you all do as well, and Ezekiel hopefully can remember. So we should be just fine. Just fine, right?
Yeah.
Insight check. Can I
Insight check. Yeah. What are you trying to find out?
If she really feels like we'll be fine, or if we're... Never mind.
She seems pretty confident. You're pretty sure.
This is why I don't make insight checks. Anyways.
Oh, man. So, are we doing... Zarius, are you doing this quieting thing, or no?
No, it would take 10 minutes. Which is entirely too long to be sitting 60 feet away from them.
We can. Somebody did mention reconnaissance. I can make myself and our new friend over here invisible, and we can go and look at things and then relay.
All
I
right.
think making it quiet and just waiting 10 minutes would be best. You know, make sure they're all asleep and not aware of us.
60 feet is a very short distance to lay an ambush.
You know, I lied again. It's 120 feet.
Even so,
You need to
they'll be
spend
taking
some
a
more
watch.
time with your books, Zarius.
I really do.
What part of the close... Have we unlocked Apollodux's close reading skills yet?
No, that must be the one in the mines.
Apollodux's comprehension.
Guys, look,
Pollux actually right now can't read. Like, we...
I have 2 brain cells,
This
okay?
sign can't stop me. I can't read. I only know rage.
Hey, leave me alone.
Apollodox
Just
is
'cause-
critical thinking.
I went out of the box and didn't play a barbarian this time.
And I'm proud of you, George.
Me too.
Himbo writes.
Information can be very helpful tactically. There we go. There's the word tactically.
See, the
If you-
expert agrees.
If you catch them by surprise, it might give you an advantage, but this seems like an awfully difficult fight. I don't know.
So I make the 2 of us invisible, and we can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, go check it out. I'll sit 120 feet away and try it, and if something happens
Oh.
between the 10 minutes, I can always stop.
Yeah. Perfect. We have a plan. It's going to go horribly, but we have a plan.
Yeah, I would
As always.
never stick to plan anyways.
But it's good to go in with, it's the thought.
I feel like we do our best work without plans, but
I think we just do our best work all the time. I don't think having a plan has anything to do with it.
it's
I
true.
agree with Varus there.
I
Yeah.
think I'm very worried.
So I was kind of out of it when we were discussing this.
Oh,
Why
thank you, Warbler,
are we
for
fighting
following.
them? Why are we fighting them?
Why are we
precisely?
fighting them? Because they're on Tadriel's team.
Is it really the best idea to fight them now? I'm wondering what tactically this is doing for us, other than
Weakening
giving us
its
less
forces.
time.
Well, we're
And
killing
Ira,
the...
this is the only chance we have to
Maybe.
weaken any of this team before we go in and almost kill ourselves.
If you do not fight them now, you'll probably have to fight them later.
At the
We
same
will
time as
definitely fight them later.
Angel.
I think it could also be a good sign of hope to the resistant groups in the city if they get word that there are people on the outside, even if this isn't 100% successful. If some of them get away, it's going to rattle the guard or the scribes to know that even if they get away, some random group came in for 3 weeks and messed with them. And the resistance groups we've all seen exist. We know how hope works. It's contagious,
Maybe
If they think there's more going on, I think there's value there.
do we let the
Maybe
weakest
the
one
town
go?
needs-
Maybe. We'll see.
I think word will reach when they don't arrive in Seaton that something has happened, and they'll send out an investigation group and find their bodies here. I think that letting one go would reveal just how many of us there are, what our tactics are, those kinds of things.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
So we kill all of them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, I'll get all of the
I'll try to knock down all of the weaker guys first. If there are any.
No,
think you're planning too much.
Yeah.
I can help you there, Kanan. It's sort of my specialty.
Oh.
I'd rather
Well-
not have to fight any of the tougher ones.
That's
Oh, I
why
don't.
I already claimed the weaker ones. I picked first.
Well, Varus,
I'm so glad to be fighting amongst such brave fighters.
guess that leaves the tough ones for us and Harriet.
All right. Plug your ears, Zarius. She'll like spin her gun.
Zarius flinches like out of instincts, and is like, "Oh, we're good."
Well, we have somewhat of a plan. Are we ready to continue, or should we lay wait for a little while?
Oh, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
We're running.
All right.
This is me running.
Yes. So you all make good
The
time.
backboard of my day.
Everybody, go ahead and make athletics checks.
Zarius is just speed walking.
Oh, you guys.
Speed walking quickly. He's got the Olympic form down.
Zarius is an Olympic speed walker.
And Zelene rolled, just so you all know, rolled a 10, so right in the middle, which is sad because she has a pretty good athletics score. But okay, so overall, very bad.
Well, we have a 2 and a 5, but we also have 2 21s, so
That's like average.
Overall,
it almost averages out.
yeah, overall almost average. You don't make great time, is the point. You do okay. It's not like you're falling behind, but essentially you're going to arrive there later than you had initially wanted to. You're going to arrive there by your guess, Kanan, with that nat 20. You can get pretty precise with this. You'd say you probably get there after midnight. So you're not going to be exhausted or anything, but you know, you're going to be nearing the end of that period of being awake. You're going to be awake for a long time and all that. So, and it's going to be to your advantage the dead of night when you arrive. So, but can switch. Just so you all know, to be perfectly clear, we don't have enough time to do any fighting this game because it's already 7:45 and the fight's not going to be over in 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So we'll get right up until there and then we'll start the next time. So just so you all know.
All right.
So, darkness has closed in after the sunset, giving a beautiful display of color painted across the sky. The warmth of the day has faded, and you have found yourselves beginning to close in on your quarry. Another few hours pass, and the path in front of you in the distance splits. One leading off in the direction towards the gold mines, the other curling off again once more directly towards Seaton. As you follow this pathway, two people make a perception check.
I got one.
I'll make one.
Okay, 16, 13. Zarius, you catch the fading scent of campfire smoke, and you know that you're getting close. You can just, at the edge of your vision, make out some fading embers tucked away in a cluster of trees up ahead.
Zarius will hold his hand up to like get everyone's attention, make them stop.
Okay. You are not quite to where you can see anybody yet. You just see the fire dimly glowing in the very distance. The fading light is just, I mean, it's right there. You can barely make it out. So, if you right now are in a slightly forested area, it's not like a ton of trees, but there are trees around on either side of this path, along with a few bits of rock and other terrain that are around. The path has a little bit of a hill slope on one side. You know, there's some various different terrain features that you could use, though nothing aside from the trees that's overt cover. Those faster of you or who are going invisible could find a way to use that to your advantage. But we will move to the next page and I'll show you what it looks like.
Ooh. Oh.
Now, this is a very small, itty-bitty map. So don't
Tiny.
move around too much. But whatever you can see, you can see.
Does not know anything. That's not even though. It's
It's all black for me. You might have to do the DM vision.
Oh, you just don't have. Well, I mean, it's nighttime,
Yeah, no dark vision.
so
Oh no.
They have a Do they have a fire though? They said there was smoke.
there is. It's very dim. Let me see if you can
Why
see.
can't it just die?
Yeah, it's there. It's just at the very bottom left. You can just see eensy weensy bits of light. So, yeah, you can't see pretty much.
Well, then my map is very accurate.
But I'll give you guys, if you all are approaching stealthily, we can make stealth checks and see.
How do you use Mask of the Wild, the Wood Elf ability?
That's just hiding in, like, what is it, light cover or something?
Yeah, lightly obscured by foliage, rain falling. Does it apply to stealth checks, or is it just when I'm like standing still trying to hide?
The hide action.
Yeah, so you take the
technically.
hide action, which is what you're
Okay.
doing now.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah. So you can make the attempt to hide.
Oh, everyone.
I'll just do stealth.
Varus will scoot over to Ezekiel and kind of just put a hand on his shoulder. Hello. Do you want to disappear entirely now?
Not so.
I can't really see much. I should have warned you about that.
Well, let's take care of this and we can figure that out in a moment.
Okay. And if you're invisible, you make stealth checks with advantage.
Oh, okay. Are we both invisible then?
No, I'm not
Kevin?
doing it yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Then my 28 stealth.
You may not be able to see, but nobody else is seeing you either. Okay.
Somehow hides himself really well without being able to see himself.
Yeah.
He's so stealthy because even he can't perceive his own self.
Ah,
Oh,
there you go.
Celine's got a stealth too. She rolled a
It's like
nat 20.
You know that
Ah,
rule: if
so-
you can see them, they can see you. Then it's like it's the exact same thing. If you can't see them,
Celine got a 30 for her stealth roll.
Oh,
So
ooh,
hello?
damn. Just one upping is
not to just one up you. I was just about to say not to just one up you, but
Hey, my max is a 32, so
yeah, that's her max. So she disappears off into the trees over here, out of all of your sight.
Celine
Hayden's
just
gonna follow Inira.
what I can do if it's
Well.
not too much, Matt,
Yeah.
I'll have a lantern but shuttered, so it's like 10 foot of light. I think it's really light.
Okay.
But even that might be a bit too much. No, I'll leave it. Never
You'll
mind.
leave it. Okay.
I'll just be in the dark. It's fine.
I
It's up
feel
to
you.
you.
It's okay.
Yeah, if you want to. Harriet just recently got a dwarven belt, so she can see in the dark now. But
Yeah, it took me a year and a half.
yeah.
She's also got light cantrips for when we're not in scenarios like this, and if you want to ask her nicely, and or if she knows that you can't see in the dark, which she doesn't know yet, but
is human.
He may have
she
tricks.
doesn't know how humans work.
That's fair. That's fair.
So,
I just don't want to give our position away. Is the problem? Any sort of light source is going to hurt that.
can
That is
Varus
true.
slide over to Zarius and just say, so, our new friend, our espionage friend, can't really see right now? Is there anything that we can do about that? Either you or somebody else in the group? Do you know?
Not really. I can cast light. Nope, I can't do that either. I can make flames.
We would know that Harriet does that because she casts it on her
Yeah.
quarterstaff.
Yeah. I mean, Harriet can do that, but right now.
What are you all whispering about?
Oh, Ezekiel, come here. I'm over here. I'm going to keep talking until you can find me. I'm right over here. Come on. Oh, there you are.
Just guide him by the hand until you're over by the fire.
Yeah, he can't see at all. So I wonder what sort of benefit it might be for him to actually go up there, if it will be any benefit at all.
Maybe take Kanan?
I can.
Really fine staying here.
All right, you stay here then and do whatever you do best. Kanan, come here, and I'm going to reach out and just touch her on the shoulder. And I'll cast invisibility at 3rd level, so we both go invisible.
Okay. So go ahead and roll another stealth check for both of you.
Advantage?
Yes. Well, so you already rolled one. We'll just roll another one.
Okay.
Oh.
1 better.
Okay, so
I
yeah,
got
11.
one worse.
Okay.
Invisible Kanan is terrifying. You're right.
Yeah. So we'll put the ninja.
As you wake up, you're just getting stunning striked in your sleep by nothing. The air is just, the furry air is just beating you up.
Just 4 strikes in
Horrified.
2 seconds. Just
Yeah.
bow, 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 bow.
Yeah.
You see the brush, like by the time you see the plants like kind of crumble, you're getting just punched in the neck.
Yeah. Zarius, if they're gonna go off, Zarius doesn't want to get within like further than like 100 feet of the camp, and then
Okay.
he'll start trying to cast silence as a ritual, but it's gonna be 10 minutes, so he doesn't really
Okay.
think it's gonna work. But
So just so you know, it's down here. I don't know if you can see on the map. That's where you
Yeah,
saw
I
the
think-
light.
yeah, I can see it. I don't think the map is 100 feet though. Oh, it is. Zarius is gonna stay right where he's at.
Just on the road. All right,
No,
made it. I'm gonna
maybe-
sit down right here.
Yeah.
You got to be able to see
He
the
might-
point.
Oh, that's a good point.
So just so you know, you got to be able to see the point,
I mean,
and
I-
there's a slight
so-
hill here that comes up, and they're behind some trees.
Okay, so are we cool to move around and stuff?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, however
Okay.
close you go, it may trigger something, but
Yeah, Zarius. I can see the campfire here, but
Okay,
I don't know if
good.
it's just because it's giving light off. Okay. So he'll sit down and start focusing on the silent spell for 10 minutes.
okay.
I'll say 10 minutes starting now.
Matt, I know my character can't see, but can I actually have vision of the map? So I know what's going on.
I mean, kind of. I don't know.
That's up
Part
to you.
of
but
me wants to be like, no, but here, we'll give you, just so
It's
you
up
can
to
move
you.
around, we'll give you 5 feet of low light.
Oh, right. You have fancy light.
That's right.
I
He's-
forget that you have
he's
fancy
schmancy.
light.
Because I think
And
you'd be
now
able
for
to make
religious
out. I mean, you know,
ingenuity.
it's dark, but I think you'd be able. Oh, you have dim light too. You can
I have
see
dim
in
light
dim
vision.
light. So let me give you actually some light. We'll say your normal vision is 60 feet, night vision is 60 feet. So we'll go to 20 feet because it's not really dim light.
Okay.
But you did
Are
take a feat,
these-
so I want to reward that.
Are these like bushes right here?
They're trees, yeah,
Okay.
big,
There's nothing
thick,
in the
like
ground?
conical trees that go all the way to the ground.
Okay. Can I try to like hide behind one of them?
Sure,
Probably like this one.
yeah, that's easy enough. Did you roll stealth already?
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
13.
cool. Got it. Kanan, are you still approaching like that?
I'm by this rock.
Okay, you're waiting by the rock.
Yeah.
You know.
We don't know.
Okay.
We can't see
I
her.
can
Yeah.
see them down here.
No one can see you, so. All right. So what you see there is these two guys that you can see. Let me see what you can see. Yeah, these two guys down here are asleep. This one here is asleep that you just gestured at. That one there is asleep. That one is
Oh,
not
is that
asleep.
That's the lane. Okay.
I be invisible, so
Yeah.
I'm getting closer.
Okay.
Remember that invisible is not silent. I will add that.
I'm gonna hope my 26 stealth is
Yeah, she
okay.
just did roll really high.
Yeah.
Fair.
And
Might as
so,
well,
so
like,
right
a cat.
here, you're on like see where that gash is in the map.
Yeah.
That's you're on a lower portion, so that part is above. It's just like 5 feet, but so you do have a little bit of cover to hide behind there if you want to. It's not. It's just not level, is what I'm getting at. It's not going to take any extra movement, but just so you know what's there.
It got brighter.
What did?
The fire, like right here, is like really bright for some reason, but the rest of it's still dim.
I don't know.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know what's happening, dude.
Oh, my stuff stayed the same, but I noticed it did get brighter.
Maybe it's because it's moving when Boris moves, so it might be his line of sight or
Oh,
something. I
his
don't know.
vision, yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. All right. Is everybody where they would like to be?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Harriet's pretty much just waiting for y'all's signal or whatever.
Well, let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh yeah, now you guys get to see the other fun thing, which is wow.
Dang, 2 nat 20s. Oh dang, and
We're
plus
ready.
a 9. Yeah, apparently so.
Actually, I think we're still tied.
There you are.
Kanan can
What's
go before
your
me because she's
dexterity?
fast. It's the same because we both have 0.18. We both have 18, I think.
Oh.
And yes, Jevin, it is.
Is yours a 4 or a 5 though? Is it 4 or 5?
Ours is both plus 4.18. So,
I'm just chilling in the back. I was gonna offer Ezekiel some light if he needed it, but it seems
yeah,
like
I think we both have a
they're
dex
eating
score
off.
of 18.
Choose oh gosh.
How about you
These are
go
odds.
first? Because Kanan's like just stereotypically faster than Darius. Or we can roll a coin. I don't care. But
Choose evens or odds.
evens.
Okay, you go first.
Okay.
All right. We've got our order of initiative here. Zarius, we'll say that you're about
30 seconds.
I was gonna say I don't know how long you all have been creeping around, but
I think
go ahead.
invisibility is only like a minute or two, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it longer?
Less
than
than an hour.
Oh, an hour. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
But yeah, so I'd say that you all have taken your time to, go around and really sneak and creep because you players have actually put in the effort to do so. So I'll say that right now you are, I don't know, we'll say 3 rounds. Just remember that. 3 rounds from finishing.
Oh,
I'll type it in the chat.
write it down.
3 rounds for finishing silence. So, I mean, from here on, we'll do turn order, and you all can just do nothing if you'd like to, but yeah. And that's, I think, where we're going to call it. We'll take the actual combat next time. We've got everything set up, everything staged. We'll jump right into whatever you all want to do for that first strike. So,
Bam, bam.
yeah. Well, that was really fun.
Keep up with you.
That was awesome.
I'm happy that you all came to join in and play. I know, Sky, you had some technical difficulties. No big deal. It happens. Not a problem. We're all used to the digital age at this point. Just a thing.
Yeah.
So no big deal. But I'm very thankful and happy that we had some new people following. That's great. Thank you for joining us.
Woo!
It's always great to have new people. We're excited that you're on this adventure. If you want to see any episodes that you've missed or you want to go back and find out what happened in the past, you can check out our YouTube channel. We're not cool enough to have a direct link yet, so you have to search up Baggage Claim D&D. But all of our past episodes up to a certain point are on there. Up until
I
we
think
start
there's a link in the Twitch to
Yes,
our
there is.
YouTube as well.
Yeah.
So
Link in the Twitch to the channel's YouTube, the Baggage Claim, also to mine, and anyone else, if the players, you all have stuff you want to put in there too, we can. But that's what's in there right now. So, we've been Baggage Claim DD, we've been the Vagabonds, or whatever the sign-off thing is. I don't know what I say. But thank you, everyone, for joining us, especially the players. It's always a great time to have everyone here. And tune in next week to find out what happens. All right.
Bye.
On the Vagabonds.